transition. Hello, humans of the internet. This is a little weird for me, so it's going to take a bit to get used to. But welcome to the Gallant Horde. It's a little bit of side mission. Zook is sending a party here on a mission to check out what the hell's going on a planet with a city called Mamagar. That's pretty much all the information they have at this stage, because even he doesn't know what is quite going on. So first off, the announcements, because Jax made me write a list of shit down. There is going to be a language warning on this because I tend to use it like punctuation. My apologies if that offends. Let me know if it gets bad and I'll try to curb it. The Season 2 applications have been opened. A few of the people in this team have already been warned, and they are trying to focus right now, but they are also making their Season 2 characters. So if you head over to the link that just got put in chat, awesome. Sparabel.com, join the Horde, and the application form is there. We also have a giveaway running this time. The awesome Tiffiny is giving away a set of dice, which is named the Mad Gnome. Since it's a Zook mission, it sort of makes sense. I believe I have a potion of resistance to roll while everybody else introduces themselves. So we'll start with the Morwen.
Hi, I'm going to be playing Morwen Starshine, the Winter Eladrin Sorcerer.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nik. I play Reanth. She is a Githyanki Psy Warrior fighter.
Hello, I am Noah, and I will be playing Haydn Forst, the Human Ranger fighter.
Hi, I'm Tiffiny, and I'll be playing Fianna Greymark, the Human Gloomstalker Ranger.
Hello, my name is Shawnali, and I will be playing Indigo, the Fey Moth Rogue Warlock of Titania.
And hi, I'm Rex, and I will be playing Ursa Rustfur, the Beasthide Barbarian.
Nice. So we have a pretty high-power party going out this time. A couple level 20s, some high levels, and then we have our beloved Ursa bringing up the rear at 16 at this point, I believe.
Yeah, he's 16.
But still, Barbarian, which has a good old bag of hit points.
Probably has more HP than me, despite the fact that I have 2 levels on him.
Did you guys get your Hero's Feast and Inspiring Leader?
I just remembered I had to
I did not. Let me,
13 for Hero's Feast and 26 for Inspiring Leader. 10.
Awesome.
So just for the people that were asking just then, Ursa has 248 hit points.
That's awesome.
I have 220 for my squishy little sorcerer.
That's awesome for a sorcerer. Anyone have any questions before we kick things off?
Are we talking in character or out of character?
Both.
In character, Indigo would like to know, do we have a ripcord for this mission?
Good question.
Do we have a word?
No.
How are we getting back then?
The same. So
sorcerer.
Zook has a back door that he left open. He is able to teleport you in to where you're going, and you will be able to teleport out from the location in which you enter. Everywhere else is the same layered shielding that he used over the realm.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Next question. Does anyone here know how to teleport us out of there?
Morwen?
Morwen's got teleport, and she knows a couple circles, so yeah.
More levels than I could, but...
We did discuss that there could be some, strange things if we were doing high-level magic. Is that also going to things like teleporting or anything like that would also be affected?
No, you should be fine. Well, as long as you teleport out of the room that you enter in. If you try to teleport from somewhere else,
you
may
may
end
need
up in
to
a strange
physically
place.
get to a place where we are to teleport back.
Yeah.
But Morwen
I
can
just-
get us out from there.
And when you say high level magics, how high are we talking? And will magical items also be affected by it?
Is this in character or out of character?
Both.
Out of character, magical items are fine. In character, you actually have no idea.
Maybe, hopefully, this ring will work because I rely on it a lot.
Hi, I'm magic user. Hope it works.
How high level is high level? I'm
You
not.
don't know.
All right.
Okay.
We'll find out. man.
Hey.
We'll find out.
The for people that haven't been involved in the conversation, Zook established a machine on a world that keeps it in orbit, effectively. In order to protect it, he built a labyrinth around it, and in order to protect the labyrinth, he removed any knowledge of that from his mind. Which means Zook has no idea what he's sending the party into. So that's why it's a little vague.
It's not exactly a question, but right before they leave, Fianna would give Zook a box and say, if something unpleasantly permanent happens, can you see this gets to Garen? Thank
I
you.
will, don't worry. Okay, nothing else? We can make a start on things.
All right, let's go.
Let's do
So
this.
the morning of the mission comes up, shows up, and you all enter Titania's throne room within the Summer Court. Because that's where Zook wants to send you from. As you walk in, you see a quite relaxed Zook lounging very decadently on Titania's throne.
Of course.
Question. I'd like to insight the relaxed part.
Go for it.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez, this is not a good sign. This is a natural 20 for 37 insight on Zook.
We're all gonna die.
That's amazing. You know Zook, and
Yeah.
as we've established, there is a connection there because of the mind. He is outwardly appearing very relaxed, but he is not. He hates not knowing what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
He knows there are bigger things at play, and he knows that there are things being kept from him, and it is not a situation he is used to being in, and he hates it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I've wasted the only good roll I'm going to get today.
I mean, you kind of didn't need to roll
I
for it
wouldn't
that,
call it
right?
wasted.
Yeah. It's good to know.
So you all
Alright.
come forward.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. Thank you
Morning.
for being here.
Zook!
Yes.
Just so freely using such words here. Come on, man. I'm picking on you. Let's.
Zook would have said that. He has
Yeah.
zero fucks about the rules and the qualms of the Feywild right now.
Yeah.
He is not Titania. I can say thank you for doing things for me.
I know.
Even
I'm
when
just
sitting on her chair.
Does she know you're doing that?
Probably. If
Oh,
not,
gee.
she will soon.
She can feel it.
All right. So get in, deal with the unpleasantness, and then get out.
So that is the plan at this point.
All right. I think we've done that before. We can
Yeah.
This does come with the warning that when I created this, my moral compass was a little absent.
Okay, that's good to know.
I feel only fair that I warn you.
Okay.
Do not base your assumptions on what to find off the version of me in which you know now.
I have a question, actually. Everything is reportedly supposed to be dead, but if we find something living, what is the limitation of bringing strays back now?
Sure appears in
If
the
you
Good
want to
question.
explain to Titania why you are bringing a stray back into the center of her court, that is
Hmm.
up to you.
Well, I more so mean that if they're oogity boogity bad to you, a prisoner of war or something, we might need to bring something back for you to take care of, not just us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So,
Or
You
all
can,
right.
you can bring
Or
things
we can
back.
just take care of it. We
Yeah.
can take care of it
Yeah.
here.
Take care of it.
Within reason.
To
Yeah.
leave no witnesses.
If we see anybody who looks like Zook, I'm a little concerned.
And I feel
Well,
like
we'll
if
know
we,
it's not him.
yeah,
We hope.
I mean, there's the question of can, but I feel like if we see someone who looks like Zook, we should avoid or destroy rather than bring back. It feels given what we've encountered of Zook.
Oh, boy. You're so bold to
No
assume we
offense.
could destroy Haydn.
Yes, that is why
That's why Avoid was listed first.
yes.
Yeah, because the clone we saw at the finale was like a new one. If this one's been around for 1,000 years, he might have learned a few tricks.
I mean, to be fair, he was around on a dead world, but
Nothing else to do, but
Well,
if it's a dead world, what is there? What is there to do?
You
There
learn
is
a
find
lot
out.
from dead things.
There is
Let's
life
go.
on that world.
Let's
The
go and
city
find
of
out.
Mamagar is, well, sparsely populated, but still populated. Magically dead. Physically, it will still work.
Oh, okay.
I misunderstood.
Yeah, that makes okay. All
So
right.
the whole
So there.
world is a desert. There is one city. So a dead world is probably a good explanation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well,
So
So
there are
while the
native
conversation-
creatures. There are
There are.
native creatures that maybe will not be out just to hurt us, possibly.
If
Alright.
my targeting is correct, you won't see them. I am
Okay.
sending you directly to where you need to go.
Okay.
There is theoretically no way to get into the start of the labyrinth from anywhere on the planet.
That's smart.
While this conversation is going back and forth, Serena walks out of a shadow from behind someone.
Shadow.
Nods to everyone, and you would notice that Serena is carrying a chest.
Mm.
Large, simple wooden chest. Addressing Zook. Since everyone's now here, I can give this to you. Well, them. You're not allowed to touch it. And puts it down in front.
Morwen will walk up to the chest. Look at
Indigo's
Serena.
right there with Morwen.
Yeah,
Is
what
it
are we
okay
looking
for us
at?
to open?
You're allowed to open. If the little one tried, it would be bad.
Morwen opens it.
There is a note sitting on top of what looks just like a bundle of cloth at this point.
What's the note say?
It reads like it is addressed to Zook.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Hello, me. You'll be reading this. Cassandra was right, and something has caused a new spark to be born in the tomb we found on the Mamagar. You have a small window to get to the installation, extract the new spark, and bring it back to the library. Cassandra has been maintaining the room that can be used to nurture and protect the spark until it's strong enough to restart the magical core of the world we killed. Good luck. Enjoy the surprises. Zook." The younger one.
Okay. And the cloth is something to contain the spark, I imagine?
Are you picking it up, looking in it?
Yeah, I'm picking it up, and I'm going to ask Serena if that's the floor.
The cloth is just a wrapping. You should look inside.
Okay. Sounds inside.
Inside, there is a large, glowing purple orb, about the size of Ursa's head. Those that are magically attuned, this thing is just raw arcane power.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it like a magical water balloon, is the best way
Okay.
to look at it. Underneath that is a... It shouldn't fit in the chest that it's in, but it is a very large, pure crystal, similar to what Zook has been using in all of his experiments, his power sources.
Yeah.
This is the largest one any of you have seen.
Mm-hmm.
It is also almost like it's clear. It has clarity beyond anything else that's been done that can be used.
So are we to use these?
Serena's addressing now. Zook is pouting a little bit because this is more information that he doesn't know.
Right.
The large crystal is the last remnant. Well, the last remnant that isn't sealed away inside the core of a machine Zook built, of the core of this world. It is the only thing that will be able to safely house the spark.
Mm.
The orb is something you're going to need. How you're going to need it, that's hidden from me as well, but there are... When we created that machine, I was not me, I was someone else. But the knowledge is still there, it's just a little harder to obtain. It's like kickstarting an engine, a heart of a human body. Needs a bit of a job sometimes.
Do we recognize the name Cassandra?
Indigo and Morwen.
I was going to say,
Okay.
I think I don't know.
Give us a history. Everyone else can roll history at disadvantage.
Okay.
26.
Natural 19 for 19.
That's a 12 because I rolled a 1.
11.
Natural 1 for Ursa for 1.
Aww.
Get
16.
it out early.
For being on brand. Uh-huh.
So the name is familiar to Indigo. It pulls at something that was gleaned when you were inside Zook's mind. Morwen, you would know that Cassandra is the previous library.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll get you that she was captured and basically killed during the assassination of the Emerald Queen.
Mm. And the Emerald Queen is the one that he used to have the chunk of inside of him.
That's a mad version, like Slither of her soul. The Emerald Queen was the person who Zook created that gave birth to the empire that he destroyed.
Mm.
At some point, I'll tell the full story of Zook, but that's not needed for now.
I have little bits of story too. Yeah.
All right.
And
Do you
the,
need to
the
take it?
glowing purple orb, what
He doesn't
do we
know.
know what this is for?
Serena, that's what Serena was talking about, the thing to use to kickstart.
Oh, I thought
whatever
that was
you
the
need to find
crystal.
down there. No. The large clear crystal is a effectively containment vessel for the spark.
Okay.
The purple orb is barely contained raw magical energy.
Okay.
Significantly more than almost anyone here other than Titania and Zook would be able to pull into themselves without exploding.
Hmm. And do we have any guidance about how to use either one of these items?
Not at this point.
Okay.
Don't drop them.
Yeah.
Zook sort of lifts up this point and getting over himself. I really wouldn't drop the orb. It will, well, detonate.
Oh yeah, we don't want that.
So only drop it on purpose, not accidentally.
At this point, Ursa, who has done nothing this entire time, will just point at his bag and go, "I has my big bag," and then just sort of open it and like offer.
I was thinking maybe the chest that Morwen gave Indigo.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but considering the reactions bags of holding have with extraplanar spaces, it feels like we shouldn't put it in there. But
Yeah. I don't know. If the chest
Ursa
would be
wouldn't
any
know
better.
that.
No, I know. No. Yeah.
yes, but
I was thinking the
yeah,
chest.
that was in character as Haydn saying that.
He's just like, "Oh, okay."
It has just come out of it into planar space.
Oh, well,
The crystal is 2 feet by 5 feet. 2 feet
Yeah,
wide, 5 feet tall.
it was bigger than.
It's bigger than the chest, so you should be
Cartos
fine
chest.
putting it into an interdimensional space.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Chest then?
Like, I've got two ways of doing this: is either literally trying to pick that crystal up by bearing in mind Ursa can Ursa, or trying to wiggle the bag over the top of it.
The crystal floats.
Oh, the crystal floats.
If you pick it up out of the chest,
just
the
scoop
crystal
it
is
up.
hovering.
Ursa will literally like shimmy the bag, like take it off his shoulder, shimmy the bag under, and like bring it up. He still looks very, very confused how this works, but he's stopped questioning it by this point.
Cool. So you get the crystal and the orb in the bag of holding.
We're not doing the chest.
I mean,
fine.
the chest is a lot bigger to
Try and get
to
in.
carry around.
No, it's not.
Wait, is it not?
I don't
thought
know
it-
the chest that you're
It
talking about. The
shrinks
one
down to like this.
No, it doesn't. It's
No?
different. It's
Yeah, I was
two different
picturing
chests.
like
Oh.
So it's a small chest that I open, a big chest appears, we put things in the big chest, I close the small chest, the big chest
Ah.
disappears.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Oh, is that how? it works?
However, I would point out that that chest does go somewhere, and if there were curious eyes in that place, it would not be great.
So bag of holding.
Bag of holding
it.
it is.
bag of
All
holding.
right.
Well, it seems everyone has more information than I do at this point.
Eh.
Well, I'll bring you back some.
I
Whether that's
appreciate
good
it.
or bad, we don't know, but we'll try.
All information is good information.
All right. Are we ready to go, kids?
Let's do it.
Never and always.
Let's do this.
There is none of the usual flair that Zook has. This is simple, powerful. And he just clicks his fingers.
Hmm.
And with that, it feels harsher than you're used to using Zook's magic. Definitely harsher than when you're being teleported from the realm into missions. This is just brute force getting you somewhere where no one else was supposed to be. With that, you will feel that slight tug, a sideways shift, and you end up in a portal room of a labyrinth.
Ugh,
I'm
I forgot
hoping
Ginger.
You can all see that.
Mm-hmm.
It is dimly lit, but lit all the same. Musty, damp. It smells as if it is a room made of stone that hasn't been opened in a very long time. There are weird mechanical noises sort of ticking softly in the background. There is a hum of machinery, and eerily quiet. Spread around the room are 4 pedestals holding 4 versions of the orb that you put in the bag of holding.
Hmm.
Behind
Same
you, same size, almost exactly the same versions of it. Behind you is a large stone ring holding a teleportation circle that is where you just came out of.
How
Okay.
dim is dim? Like, are we using dark vision right now?
No, it is
Okay.
borderline, but there is enough light around here that you can see without dark vision.
However,
So
noticing
Fianna-
that it is dark and has the potential to get darker, Haydn will ask, I'm used to everyone kind of showering us with spells before we go out. Do any of you have the spell Dark Vision? Or a way that I could achieve it? Or should I go old school and he'll pull a torch out from his bag?
Ursa pulls out another torch from his bag if anyone needs it. Like,
Totally.
I do
have
not have that.
I don't.
I have a there's just a random DM question though. If you can't see in dark vision, or if you, I suppose if you don't have dark vision, then you wouldn't be able to see invisible things in dark vision, right? Does that make sense?
Oh, like if
okay.
you have the ability to see invisibility.
You still couldn't see the
Yeah.
visible thing if it was
Yeah,
dark. Okay,
It's separate.
cool.
Yeah,
So giving Haydn see invisibility would not let him see Fianna when she's in the dark. Okay, that's
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah. Reanth
Honestly, though, that might be worth casting on at least one of us now. Just
Oh,
as a
definitely.
precaution.
So
So what are we doing? You have 3 doorways, a large glowing, well, 4 large glowing spheres, and a portal. You very much came out of the portal.
I'm going to quickly do something that I've never done before. And I'm just going to detect magic on the room at will, because I can just do that now.
I can imagine everything glows.
Yeah.
Yes,
Including
it's
Morwen shining.
like a strobe, multicolored strobe lights going off all at once, basically hammering your magical senses, which are what you use to detect it, and it's almost blinding.
Yeah, it's all 4 orbs, the teleportation circle, and the people. But is there anything that I was not expecting to be magic?
In this room, no.
Okay.
So
Should we leave something in this room that we can, like, find a path, like, get back to quickly if we need to get out? So because we need to get back here to get out. So just something to.
I have a
Ursa,
dog we can leave.
Ursa takes a javelin out of his bag and
Okay.
jams it into the floor.
Okay.
Javelin.
Evelyn, so if we need to get out and we need something to guide us back here.
Cool. I've now only got 4 of those.
Okay.
Yeah. Reanth is turning her key mind to make sure that she follows the path that we do. So hopefully she'll remember to find her way back.
Okay.
Alas, I took the Explorers pack and not the Dungeoneers pack all the way back at character creation, so I do not have chalk.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, if any of you took the Dungeoneers pack, it comes with 10 sticks of chalk, which I think is 10 feet of marking.
Yeah,
per stick.
I have chalk.
So Fianna will give everybody but Ursa, this includes herself, see invisibility with her wand. And then she will say, I have 1 use of augury a day.
Okay.
So that gives us basically wheel,
A wheel or
woe,
woe.
or neutral
Mm-hmm.
on our actions for the next, or action that we plan to take within the next 30 minutes.
Okay.
So if we feel later on that we need to use that. I also have guidance, so if you're going to try to check something, let me know and I'll help you out.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So which way do we go? Straight,
Yeah.
right?
We need to pick a door.
Or any door.
Ursa's gonna be weird and go and touch the door. Not
Were
open
the
it.
doors magic?
Just touch it.
Cold stone door.
Cold. Okay. He'll be like, it's cold.
No more so than the ambient temperature. It's underground, so
Underground cold.
cold
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there abjuration magic on it? Indigo?
I was told it was a plain stone door, so.
Oh, I thought there was magic on it.
The door?
The door. I thought you said the orb's the doors. I misheard, I guess.
Do you want me to open door?
No, let me check for traps first.
Okay.
I'm gonna check first the northern door, and then I'll check the eastern door.
Give me 2 investigation rolls.
Investigation 1 is a 26.
Did you tell Fianna you're going to do that?
Yeah, I announced I was doing it.
You're going to
Yeah,
do
so
something.
Fianna would have given you guidance.
Is that a D4?
I believe
Yeah.
so, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
that is 28 on the first one. And then...
She'll give it to you for the second one because it's a cantrip.
Okay. And then also 28 for the second one.
Nice. Neither of them appear to be trapped.
Neither of these appear to be trapped.
All right. Well, let's just go through one.
That's okay.
Who's
Before
going with
leaving
her?
this room, Haydn will strike up his torch.
So
Oh.
the torch isn't necessary, but because everything is lit enough that you can see. But it looks like Ursa is going through the door.
Ursa stepped through the door. He was told the door wasn't trapped, so he opened it and stepped through.
That is not what I said.
Words.
Opening the door, it is a continuation of the stone. So it is a stone hallway that you have entered into, with a single door at the far end.
Hold on a minute, Ursa. If magical traps are what we should be on the lookout for, have our eye with detect magic up at our front, so we can potentially catch them before we set them off.
Great.
A mundane visual inspection probably isn't going to reveal them.
Oh, okay. He'll step back in. He'll come out the way. He's also putting his shield on his arm instead of his back now.
Does that mean Indigo goes first?
And she can detect magic. Or they can
Indigo
detect
Exactly. At will.
magic at will.
Indigo is having a real hard time with Roll20 not working currently.
I was
so-
why is Indigo leaving?
I'm having a
Morwen.
problem.
That's out.
Everything's on a 20-second delay. I'm reloading.
Okay, let me know if that gets worse. It is a large map that has dynamic lighting set up on it, which may be causing the problems.
Okay, I'm back in. Everything's blurry, but I can at least move myself. Hello.
Also, Morwen has the light cantrip, so if anybody wants light cast on anything, rather than the torch, he will offer
Oh,
that. If you're
yeah,
happy with
no,
the torch, that's cool.
Yeah, in that case, Haydn would request light be cast on his glaive.
Okay,
'Cause
done.
That is a lot better than a torch.
Invisigo. I'm Invisigo now. Goodbye.
Everybody can see
There they
Indigo
go.
but Ursa.
The invisibility works.
I'm
Just-
going to peep out into the hallway. What do my magic eyes see, Adam?
Your magic eyes see layer upon layer of wards and spells, shielding and protection sitting above and around the hallway. Through the hallway itself, you don't see anything.
Is this would I get like the vibe of it being like triggery, or like if you walk under it, haha, you're dead?
It feels very much the same as what was layered on top of the realm if you'd used your detect magic there at any point.
Oh, okay.
So it's more of a barrier between where you are and elsewhere than something
Okay.
that is flooding
So
the
nobody
area
finds
itself.
it. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to take a dagger and throw it across the hallway and see if I can hit the other door.
Roll me a d20 or an attack roll with the dagger. On the door.
On the door. That is, oh, hey baby, it is a 31 to hit a door.
You very much hit the door.
Oh, Indigo.
Anything happen?
No, other than a dagger
Alright.
sticking in a stone door.
I go, my dagger comes back because it's returning. And then I walk out into the hallway with light tippy toes.
As you step into the hallway, you all feel a pulse of magic.
Ah, fuck.
It washes over everything within the area and spreads further. You're not quite too sure what just happened.
Ew, it's on me?
It goes for here.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that
Great.
can't be good.
Yeah.
I've announced our arrival. You're welcome.
Well, then let's speed things up and get through it. So
I mean,
Yeah.
it's bound to happen sooner or later.
yeah, exactly.
Fianna, touch my
What?
shoulder. I'm going to
Oh,
investigate this
Guess I'm
door.
going second. But
My shoulder has been touched.
Haydn will
Yeah.
go last for if anything comes up behind us.
actually, Fianna will take Umbra and set them on your shoulder in case we get separated.
Great, there's now
now
a
have an
ferret
Umbra.
floating through the hallway. I
Flying
also...
monkey.
It's a 28
Misty is in the pocket
investigation.
dimension, so
28
was that, sorry, Indigo?
investigating the door.
Cool. It is the same door as it was exiting the chamber. There are no apparent traps. There are a few markings, one more from your dagger. There are a couple of claw marks on it, and
Ooh.
2 points in which you can pull the door open.
2 points? Like how?
As
What are
in,
we talking? Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. For some reason, I was like, it opens 2 ways. It goes 2 different places.
the door side.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm going to use the tip of my dagger to just see if it opens a little bit. Just a peepee hole.
It takes a bit of force, but you can pry it open a little way to have a look through.
Can I peep through?
We will just do that.
Is that a perception or investigation?
Give me a just perception to have a look through there, please.
All right. Oh my god. 30? Because I got another natural 20. Guys, my luck's going to run out soon.
Oh dear.
A small stone chamber with another sliding door directly in front of you. This one, where the others have been only a layer of dust in it, has webbing starting to build up in the corners.
All right.
Mm.
Prepare for spiders. I open the door.
Burn it all.
door is open, and you
I
see.
duck, and I say, Morwen, do something about these webs.
Firebolt, prepare.
Just in case.
Okay,
You never
so-
know what's hiding in there.
Yeah.
Does it work? Does she get rid of them?
Well, the webs are only in the corners. It's not obstructing the
Oh.
whole room.
Oh, okay. She just got it ready in case a spider appears. She just
I
got
step
her
in.
magic going. Yeah.
Is there another pulse?
There is not.
What do my magic eyes see? Anything?
Same as the hallway.
All right. Guys, Fianna, touch my shoulder.
Indigo kind of bats. Indigo, or Umbra bats one of Indigo's antennas, and you have guidance.
Okay, that is a 34 investigation on this door.
This door is not trapped. It is
not
larger and heavier than the previous ones, and there are indentations and impact marks on it.
Is there any visible lock?
No.
I try to open it with my skinny little fey arms.
Little arms.
Reanth at
Oh,
this point is going to
Cough.
use her boon of the elements and take resistance to bludgeoning. Just to have it up.
Oh,
What was
Oh,
her
we have-
potion?
I
Did I
just
miss?
Force damage.
realized.
Force?
The
Force
potion of
damage.
resistance is force.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Okay.
Oh,
I
do I
don't.
have that? No, I don't.
No, only Reanth has it.
Nope.
Oh, I take it. I'll take that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, worse feels like it'll be.
Yeah.
Substituting.
Do I have a potion? I don't think I have a potion yet.
Oh no!
Thank you,
Okay,
Tess.
that's cool.
I open
Indigo
it.
is able to open the door.
Oh wow, you guys, I'm so
Oh.
strong. Are you jealous
have been
of
working
my
out.
body, my physique?
It moves very easily for a door of its size.
Mm.
As the door opens, it opens out into a much larger chamber than you have been in recently. And which layer did I put those on?
Uh-oh.
In the middle of the room,
I hate
there are two
Okay.
very large crystal spiders
What did I tell you? It's the spiders.
just sitting. They're more statues than anything
I don't
else.
believe that at all if you're lying to my face.
Statues. Art.
They, for those that have been used to Zook's magic, these things are created out of the same crystal that he uses.
Oh,
Ah.
fuck.
Oh.
It's going to kill us all. Alright, well, I'm going to... do they ping as magic?
Yes,
Ooh, interesting. So,
they are.
I whisper and I go, you know, they are magic spiders made of fucking Zook crystals. So my invisible ass is going to look at the other door. Bye. I go to the other door, hopefully. Oh, nope. I've been. Suddenly everything went dark and I cannot go into the room. Oh,
I
there
want
we
to
go.
close the door. Or is it- so is Indigo going into the room, or is Indigo going to look at another door?
I'm gonna. Oh, I was gonna look at the door across the room.
Okay.
How tall is this room?
This room is about 45 feet tall, vaulted ceiling. There are those 8 columns in the middle, stretching from the floor to the top, and in the middle there is a 5-foot recess.
Yeah, I'm going to stealthily fly across to the other door.
Cool. Give me a stealth roll. While Shawnali is doing that, Indigo rather, what is everybody else doing?
Yana will watch
Just-
from the doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna enter yet.
Just waiting until somebody says, let's
28.
fuck shit up.
So 28
Yeah,
on stealth.
Ursa is waiting for someone to say smush.
Cool. Indigo flies across the room and is taking a look at the other door.
I I will investigate this door.
Please.
Okay. Am I being batted by a ferret?
Yeah.
I'd be battered by a ferret.
By a flying monkey. There's a difference.
It's a 31 investigation on this door.
Ferret.
The door itself is similar to the one you opened to get into this room. Heavy stone. On the inside, though, there are claw marks and residue of some kind of explosive.
If I were to look over at the spiders, are any of the claw marks their little feeties, or is it something else?
They could have been made by those. They're roughly the right size.
Okay. Is this an
Right.
unlocked door?
It is.
I open it.
Oh.
Give me a strength roll, please.
Ah, jeez.
Tap your ferret. I mean your monkey.
Yes.
Oh!
Antenna.
It is. Oh, baby. 21.
This door opens. More begrudgingly than the other side. It feels like the impact marks and the whatever caused the explosion on it had impacted the runners of it, and it does open with a
Okay.
noise.
I was going to say, is it noisy?
Yeah, I was gonna.
I
There
guess
is
that.
a grinding noise as the door opens.
Well, maybe
And-
that makes my next question moot. Do we want to do we want to trigger the guys possibly now, or wait till like half? Because like I can fly, and I think Haydn can
I
fly. Do we want half on this side of the
Haydn
room?
cannot.
You cannot.
Oh,
Okay, so you don't
he
have
has-
the boots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does have them, but he's not attuned to them. He has
Yeah.
other things.
Reanth
Okay,
can
so-
fly. She's got her boots on.
Do we want half of the party over here, or do we want all of us over here and Indigo over there? I guess would be the question.
Well, do the spiders look to be moving now that the noise?
No, but nothing's touched the ground.
That's true.
That's kind of my question.
Huh.
Well,
What are people doing? The spider statues don't appear to have been moved, and it doesn't seem that anything's
feel
reacted
like-
to that noise.
I feel like we have one of our tankier members, either me, Reanth, or Ursa, step out first, because they're probably going to take the brunt of it if they're the ones that trigger it.
I get angry. I go.
What, you go, but don't get angry yet?
So, out of character, I can be angry for as long as I like now. Like, it doesn't run out. I am literally
Okay.
always angry.
Nice.
I will. Reanth will telepathically try and talk to Indigo. Like, hey, do you want us over there, or, are you coming back?
I can tell it's Reanth trying to contact me, I hope.
Yeah. Knock, knock.
Okay. Okay. Yes? What would you like?
Do you want us to come in over there, or is that not
Can I
Good idea.
respond to you
so?
telepathically?
I think I've telepath.
If it's message, you can. I don't know.
Well,
what
it's just
the
a
other-
language. It's just telepathy. I don't know. Or
I think it's a two-way. Maybe, I don't know.
yeah,
Morwen has message if you need it.
yeah.
I also just realized that none of you can see me.
Mm-mm. No, I thought we
But we saw
can't.
the door
figure
open.
out-
See,
invisibility
invisibility
does
does
not
not
work
work on me.
I would
Ah.
have used it on everybody. I did not know that. As soon as
I
like yeah.
forgot.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's still probably
But-
worth having it up for everyone.
Yeah.
But does
yeah.
Reanth need to see me to communicate telepathically?
I don't.
I'm sorry, I just remembered it's been a while.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I'm
I'm
like,
gonna say I'm gonna say it can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I can
I'm
do
just
message,
gonna.
I just have to point in the direction.
Oh, we can see Umbra though.
That's true. I do
Yeah.
have Umbra on me.
Either way, even
Yeah.
if they're invisible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I'm going to answer a counter question. Would you prefer to check the north door from the teleportation room, or do we want to keep going down this hall?
What do you guys want? She wants to know. They want to know if we want to check the north door or keep going.
Just I don't want to backtrack. Something like went
Yeah.
off when we came in here, so I think there might be a time element. So I think
Oh.
if we should just go forward,
Clear what we
Instead of,
can so we know it's
you know,
clear.
try
Yeah.
a bunch of doors, just find a path and go for it.
Well, then let's just keep going.
Okay.
I look through the door that was clicky. What do my magic eyes see, Adam?
Looking through the door, long hallway, followed by a room with pillars at the end. There is magic sort of emanating from the top, the northern portion of the end of the hallway. Evocation magic. In the hallway itself, you're just getting the same layers as you have elsewhere.
Alright, I go to this far, and I don't see anything else interesting.
So if we're moving forward, do we want to all get closer so Indigo's not up there by themselves?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Morwen will fly across the room.
I was gonna say, do you want me to be like guinea pig?
Oh, I don't know. Reanth is gonna fly across the room too,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah,
we can
so-
be
I
on
mean,
the other side.
at least two of us are going to need to go on foot.
Yeah, but
So-
if we're over here,
Yeah.
so we can
Flank.
get advantage.
Yeah.
Let
True,
the
but then
flyers
we
go
probably
first.
want to send Reanth, because if it's an invisibility thing that didn't trigger them instead of a stepping on the ground thing,
Mm-hmm.
we probably want her out front instead of Morwen.
Yeah.
So how are you crossing the room? So Morwen look
Fly.
like they've gone across. Morwen's flying across.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Are you trying to do it quietly? Are you
Yeah.
just speed running it across?
Stealth.
Stealth, cool. Give me a stealth check, please.
23.
Morwen dashes across the room while flying.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing seems to react.
Okay.
Reanth
Yeah.
tries this same thing, and she rolled a 15. But she doesn't
Is-
leave the room. Stays hovering above the floor.
As Reanth gets to
Oh.
roughly just in front of the door,
Mhm.
you all hear. Indigo probably doesn't because of where they are further down the hallway, but the rest of you would hear some noises coming from the top right corner of the room.
Like up there-ish.
Yes. Slight skittering noises.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
All right.
there's
come
more
on,
things.
Come on,
I guess I'm gonna go.
go.
Fianna
Go, go,
will
go, go.
fly across.
Speed or stealth? Or both?
Stealth with a 32 without guidance.
Nice.
19 plus 13.
Alright.
Like, how did Fianna get by me? I didn't even see her. I was too busy
Those
looking
damn
at this.
shadows.
Yeah,
There's
indigo
the-
mode activated.
And Haydn, what are we doing?
I had an idea, but I'm not sure Haydn would be up for it.
Go for it.
We'll see.
hear it.
Hayden
As
and
Haydn is just about to bring up, I'm not sure I can be as quiet as them.
I'm not quiet, but I can get us through there very quickly.
You have a plan?
Like, I grab you, I run, I jump, we go through door.
Sounds fine to me.
Just go away.
I'm gonna grab Haydn like a rugby ball, like I've done with several of the Horde members now.
Yep.
Oh,
I am going to
Oh.
run to the edge of whatever this is, and I'm literally going to jump the rest of the way, aiming at the door.
Nice.
Ursa ball in
that
the center
is-
pocket.
I have the jumpy thing, and I can. So it's my athletics modifier plus whatever I had to start with. So that's a 28 feet on top
Yeah.
of my on top of my normal jump.
So that is just the edge of that
boing.
5 foot way
So,
second.
like, I think I can do like 38 feet.
Yeah, you can definitely jump from that middle point at the doorway.
Mhm.
Oh, wrong thing.
As you land on the other side, it makes a hell of a noise because Ursa is not a small being.
As soon as Ursa and Haydn go through the door, Reanth will go through after and close it behind. If we're,
There is
able.
not time. As
Okay.
Ursa
Ah.
lands,
I mean, I still have movement, so.
I know, but
Yeah.
as you hit that ground,
Oh,
there
hello.
are 3 large spiders that start making their way out of that corner of the room. Ursa still has his movement. Reanth and Haydn will get a reaction to see what you would like to do. And then we will roll
Morwen
initiative.
was holding firebolt from when she walked in this room. I don't know if that's...
Morwen is through the doorway in the hall, through the door in the
yeah,
hallway.
Okay,
So only the 3 that are in the room have seen this happen.
okay.
The 3 that are in the hallway, you know that Ursa just made a very loud noise, and
Yeah.
you hear some movement going on, but as of yet, you don't know what is happening.
Okay.
And
That could
Ursa,
be good.
what you doing?
I can't actually go any further if Morwen's in that hallway, so...
She stayed there
stopped.
to just make sure everybody gets through.
So I will
But
put
I'll
Haydn
move back
down.
to...
I'll
You
put
can
Haydn
move through
down.
friendly spaces.
Yeah, you can.
I'm fairly large though, but sure. Like,
Yeah, but Morwen's small, so.
Morwen's small.
well, if I'm still holding Haydn, I will take him with me through the door. Because
It's a squeeze, and you're probably going to buffet people, but that hallway is 10 feet wide.
Morwen's flying too, so you could go under.
like, yeah, I would carry on because that's what I said I was doing in the first place. So
So you can keep going
through the door.
Reanth.
All right. So
Excuse
I
me.
will. Am I able to like Misty Step, or
You
is this
haven't
just
tried.
a reaction? Huh?
Oh no, you can. So you can do something. So you can react to what is
okay.
going on rather than take the react action.
Oh, okay. So I will just slide myself in here and close this door behind me.
If she
There are
struggles to
spiders in
close the door, I will make sure it closes.
Yeah.
Okay. With the combined strength of both yourself and Ursa, that door does get closed.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
So
we're
we're
going
back now.
We're probably gonna have to take care of that though, because.
Yeah, but I'd rather do it
you
on the
know.
way out.
Okay. All right. Just
You
Maybe
do
it makes
hear
a circle.
banging and scraping on the inside of the door.
Okay. Room 1.
Yeah.
Tiger. Make a note.
So, has Indigo mentioned to the rest of us that they've seen claw marks on the doors, or would the rest of us have noticed as we like pass through?
The rest of you would have noticed the doors, the claw
Alright.
marks and things on the doors.
And
Yeah.
As-
clarify,
Fianna
is
would've-
this... Sorry.
I think
Go
Fianna
ahead.
would just observe. So we triggered them. What triggered them beforehand? And is it
Anything
still
going
here?
Right. That is the question.
Well, it's something with explosive capabilities.
Yeah.
Oh, that's encouraging.
Not a pun. Not a pun, but a true thing that it can do.
So for this door, is it another one of the sliding doors, or is it a open shut door? Like a
Or
hinge.
the door you just closed?
The door we just closed.
It is, all of the doors so far have slid rather than
Okay.
opened in an arc.
Adam, when you said that there was magic coming from the north, you meant from like this area, right?
Correct.
Okay. I warn everybody that to the north, or at least what I am calling north at this moment, because I don't know if there are compasses here, but it is a magic of the
It's emanating down in waves.
yeah, it's a wavy, and it's like it is started with an E.
Evocation.
Evocation.
That's the
I was like,
word.
it's not enchantment, it's the other one.
Evocation, which
yeah.
I'm not a magic guy, so I don't
That
really
is-
know what it is. It makes
brings
things, yes?
It evokes things, like summons
brings
things.
things.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's the explodey one.
Like-
That's the explodey one.
Yeah.
That's a slutty one?
Yes.
Well, here you go. Is exploded magic. He's up north.
Okay.
Good to know.
I can see. Can I also feel the waves or no?
You can feel them. How does detect magic work? You would be able to see them.
Yeah. Detect it's weird. Detect magic is weird.
Would we walk around the waves?
I'm kind of envisioning it like if you can put an ultraviolet filter, you can sort of see different wavelengths and that sort of stuff. Is kind of the way it works in my brain. So you know that there is evocation magic emanating from the room to up out of the corridor that you're in.
Yeah, it says if you can sense magic. So I mean, I guess that means it's up to you how I'm feeling it. But if you say I see it, baby. So,
That works for me.
do you want me to continue? I might get exploded.
Well, we don't want you to get exploded. But
Pink
Is
mist
there a way
everywhere.
around the? Is there a way around the waves? Like, can we avoid it? Like an area of
Can I
protection?
time my room crossing to avoid the waves?
Or just
I mean,
go?
if you want. I mean, I could teleport across potentially. It's low level
They
magic.
come down out of the hallway. I'm just going to draw shit to make it easier.
Sure.
And they
That doesn't
don't.
help the rest of us.
Wrong layer. Sorry. Let's go that layer. So they come down to about there, if that can be seen.
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. So the waves come down that top hallway, but they don't spread out through that entire room. As they're
Alright.
coming down, they dissipate as they spread out. So it's more that something is happening up that hallway.
Up there. Okay.
Hmm.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to little sneaky into the middle of the room so that I can see. Yeah, there's definitely a door up north.
There is.
There's nothing here, right? That's just, I'm gonna just
Correct.
move so that I can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the room is empty.
Yeah.
There is the passage going up to the north with a door at the top, and there is a passage going down to the south, which takes a sharp turn.
Yeah.
That is all
So-
you are able to see.
There is a door up there. My mental map says that could turn back to the way we came, or it could keep going north. It could go anywhere, really. The one down to the south, it looks like it kicks back the opposite way.
yeah, stairs.
I mean, it's a labyrinth.
Yeah.
Kind of by its
It'd be
by its
tricky
nature, I
for-
don't think.
That's why I said just pick a road and keep on, just stay the
Yeah.
course.
South.
Away from the exploding magic, I think.
Yeah.
But wouldn't
well,
exploding
avoid-
stuff be like where we want to go?
Not
Might be
necessarily.
protecting the thing that we want.
That's
Well,
what I was.
if
yeah.
you want to keep stuff out, you put stuff in the way.
Yeah.
Only if somebody has actually made the spark. The spark could be its own thing.
Okay.
I don't know.
Plus,
follow.
it could be placed there like as a trap for people thinking the way you're thinking, like getting people to go that way when it's the wrong way, because there's something guarding it.
I'm okay going either way.
Because this was an even madder Zook than we know who built this, who knows what he was thinking.
As this conversation is going on, there is another pulse, same as the first that you felt.
It's on me.
I've been in these situations. I feel like there's a time element, and we, knowing Zook, are being very cautious. But I think we need to
Okay.
progress.
North or south?
And
south.
choose.
I go south.
The hallway just extends further and further.
Okay. And there's no magics to see?
No extra magics other than the layers on which you are feeling.
Okay. I know that, so these stairs here that we took to get down them, is that like a full like flight of stairs, or is it just like a little lowering?
It's just a little lower.
Okay.
So most of this labyrinth has been set on the same level. You're just going up and down slightly within about a 15-foot range.
Okay. It's not a whole different. Okay.
No, it's not like you're going up and down levels. This is just one flat layer.
Okay. West or south?
You are
South.
starting to see statues, sarcophagi,
You mentioned the two.
jars, and some interesting things sticking around here.
Who are the statues?
Continue straight ahead.
The statues have been destroyed. They look like they have been smashed. Several pieces. They are humanoid in shape. The features are not anything you have really seen. It is more like a cross between an elf and an orc.
All right. Well, Fianna said we should head this way, so I am going to head this way. I'm going to stop at the sarcophagi. Is there a nameplate? Is there magic? Is there...
There is magic that looks like it is designed to contain something within it. There is no nameplate.
Does this seem like... is this a respected grave, or is this a not cool dude?
It is respected.
Okay.
There are areas where it looks like incense have been burned. It looks like it has been cared for at some point. Not in a very, very long time, but it's not desiccated. It's not the wrong word.
Okay.
It's been looked up.
Yeah, and the magic is to seal in.
Correct.
Sealy magic. I tell them, you guys, we are not fucking grave robbing today. I am not letting anything out that is using magic to keep it in. As tempting as it is.
No, I don't think we should bring back anything but what we were sent for.
We don't need to mess with anything. We're looking
do
for
all,
hands in your pockets. Don't touch.
Yeah. Are all the graves identical?
In the such that they are all looked after, that they have the same levels of magic and no nameplates, but all of the sarcophagi are slightly different. Different iconography, different images, different runic structure. They're personalized, but not individualized.
Cool. All right.
Do I recognize any of the iconography?
Give me a religion check if you would like, and perception checks from everybody else while this is going on.
Sound-based or sight-based or something else? Sound-based. Nice.
9.
14 magic today.
Plus
22.
My my roll is 20, but my passive is always 25. Just for general.
I got 11 for
21.
religion.
21 on the perception, and unless this interrupts that, Haydn would also like to have a look at the iconography.
Yeah. You could be looking at the iconography, or you could be listening around. It is your choice. Those that were listening, what did we get?
14.
22.
16.
I'll keep an ear out for 21.
Cool. Those that got above 17 will hear a slight scratching noise coming further ahead of where Indigo is standing, just sort of echoing down the hallway. Or up the hallway to you, rather.
Similar to the spider scratching, or different?
Much smaller.
Okay.
Is it like, can I tell any material to it? Like, is it metal on stone? Is it stone on stone? Is it like claw on stone?
It would sound like small claws on stone.
Small claws on stone. Okay.
For those looking at the iconography, what did we get?
I think 11.
It seems like there's a scratching at the back of your head that it seems familiar, but it is just different enough or degraded enough due to age that you can't work out who and what's going on.
I move.
Hello.
We now have a much longer hallway heading down to the south.
Haydn will bring up
What?
before we continue. Did anyone else hear that scratching?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What? Oh, great.
What are in
scratching.
these recesses?
Bestial, but for what that's worth, sounds like claws, not anything metal or.
In the recesses along that wall, just where Indigo was looking, they are. Sorry, I'm losing the word for them. Effectively headstones, but the markers that you would use when you're honoring a loved one that is missing.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
So they are grave mark. They are still grave markers, but they are in memory of rather than marking an actual grave.
Is it in a language that we recognize?
No.
Okay.
That's very unique because Fianna speaks a lot.
Between us, we have a lot of weird languages.
Yeah.
I mean, if we,
I don't like that.
Do we want to know what this reads as?
I don't think we need to.
Actually, wait, no, that only lets me speak. It's not comprehend languages.
Yeah. Are you talking about tongues?
Understand?
Yeah.
It's understand spoken language.
You'd like
Yeah.
either the Dreamkeeper or comprehend languages.
So, I've come to this position. Is the scratching more clear where I am now?
the scratching is coming from the hallway leading off to the left. Down here.
Okay.
It is louder, but it still sounds small.
Okay. I investigate the general area.
Give
there
me a.
Any? I'll let you finish.
Cool. Indigo, can you give me a investigation, please?
That is 34.
Looking in at more of these markers, as you get a little closer and your eyes adjust to the level of light in the shadows, you see rats moving around.
Oh.
Small, black rats.
My dudes, do they look like normal rats? Are they magic rats?
They are not magic rats. They are just, it is dry, it is safe. They are just chilling out. As you look at them, you're invisible. They can't see you. Yeah, they're just sniffing around, scratching around, moving. Fianna?
I was gonna ask if do we see any type of like nature that if someone wanted to commune with nature we could, or is everything kind of just dead stone? Like there's no plants or anything like that.
No,
Is there?
it is. stone and rats and dead things.
Okay. So that's not gonna help.
Haydn will kind
Leonel.
of step into the hallway and just look around for like what the rats might be eating, because if this labyrinth is, you know, old, these rats had to have come from somewhere, and they have to be feeding on something to be full-grown rats if they're not magic. So
Probably
just
other
like
rats. I mean,
yeah, just like look and just kind of smell as
how
well.
rats
Like,
do.
is there any kind of like decomposition or like the smell of a dead body or anything?
Yes, that has sort of been prevalent the whole time through. There
Okay.
is a like musty sort of smell, and there is, as you're moving around, it shifts. The further away from the start you've gotten, the smell has receded, but there is that tint of that sweet decay on the air as well.
Like a mausoleum.
I will
Here.
tell them all that as I've moved down the hallway, I'll come back and I'll say this just loops back around. We have to continue south.
Okay.
Do you want
All
me
right.
to keep going first?
Hmm?
Do you
So
want
are
me
we
to
going
keep
back or
first?
are we continuing?
We'll just
Do we
keep
need to
going
go
south.
back?
We continue south, yeah.
The whole
I
way
say
doesn't
we
Anything else
continue
is
south.
backtracking.
Do you want me to keep going first?
I mean,
I
if
mean,
you
you're
want
the
to take
one
a
that
break,
can
I can
see
go
the magic.
first. I can see magic as well if you want to take a break.
Does that make you expend any of your abilities, though?
No, I have a tattoo. It has
Okay.
limited charges, I guess, but it doesn't draw from my reserves.
If you feel comfortable, you should try for a little while, sure.
Haydn will take up the front then. Use
Umber
his
will
tattoo
move to
for,
Hayden's shoulder.
and will put up detect magic with the tattoo. He has a total of 30 minutes of that if it gets to the point where that might not be enough.
Good to know, thank you. It is as overwhelming at first as it was for Indigo. There is lots of layers of magic running on top of each other here.
Yeah.
Once your eyes adjust to it, like a very, very bright light, you can see that they are layered on top, not within.
Well, there's definitely wards around this place. Just start
Yep.
walking through.
Okay.
And if it's okay, I'll just kind of go until you
Keep
stop
moving
me.
your way through. So moving through this area, there are more of the coffins, more of the sort of Kenobi jar style things. As you move down through this bottom part, the magic on the sarcophagi chain disappears. As in, it has not been cut, it has not been present on these. These are more sort of more mundane wooden coffins. Iconography goes away, and these ones are in more disrepair than the ones above. Not well loved.
Just in case. Because we definitely don't want to get hit from behind by anything. Haydn will just like, with the butt of his glaive, just kind of bump up against the coffins, just one like the one on the right here, and just see if anything wakes up.
There is a rattle of bones, and that is about it.
All right.
Moving your way
Continue
through,
onward then.
coming to the end of that hallway.
Ah, can't you see
As
that?
you
Can you
turn,
do that?
oh, yeah. Sorry, I was moving you straight through to the end. It's more of the same. So
Okay.
the stone keeps moving. The magic is lesser here. The wards are still there. More rat activity going on, and you eventually come to a door.
All right. Well, anything magic I see on it?
Nothing magic on this door, no.
All right. I'll call out that there's a door and kind of keep in a little to the side, slide open like half of it so I can peek in. Just like put my head around the corner.
Small
Oh, no.
stone chamber that has what look like preparation tables along the sides. If you a couple of intact statues here depicting beings you do not recognize.
All right.
Similar
Still-
mix of elf and orc.
All right. Nothing pings magic as I look
Nothing
around.
pings magic in here.
Is there another door, Haydn?
Yep. Across the room looks like some kind of embalming type room, preparation room for them to get put in the coffins.
Lovely.
Go across, and if nothing pings still, open this door.
Oh, moving through. The door's harder to open. It does slide like the others. It takes a little bit more force. More to...
If he struggles, I'm 5 feet away at all times, so...
Yeah.
Easy.
Hayden,
Hayden's able to open the door.
Hayden's pretty
Just
strong
roll.
too. He's got a belt of giant strength. So
my strength is currently 29, so...
that's better, but Hayden is still pretty strong.
If you need my 13, let me know.
Look, Ursa has one thing, alright?
Well, two things if you count health.
I mean, yeah.
Just keep down the hallway.
Moving down the hall.
Kind of the
The magic starts
Still-
to feel heavier.
Mm.
the warding or just the general magic that's
The
kind
warding.
of pervading. Okay.
The magic that has been sitting relatively high above at this stage as you're moving further down the hallway starts to feel a little more oppressive. You're more aware of it. Indigo definitely would be if they've still got the magic up.
I'm
Yeah.
constantly pinging in the back.
Yeah.
There's
Taking
a-
me back.
the wards around this place are closing in a bit.
Maybe hopefully this is the way to go then.
There are golden stone coffins, open and empty at this stage. Well, open and empty at this stage was a little foreboding.
Is there iconography on those to have a
They
look
are
at?
completely blank.
This can't be good.
There is a door to the south and a hallway that turns up to the north and ends
Yeah.
in a blank wall.
Wow. This
Well,
could be here for like turning around gurneys or something, but Hayden definitely wants to have a feel around the walls because this feels. Just see if there's any loose bricks or seams or
You-
anything.
Those that wish to have a look around the wall for loose bricks and seams and otherwise hidden fuckery, give me an investigation check.
Whoops.
Fianna will join him and give Haydn guidance, and then she will help, but do her own check because she has advantage.
I rolled the
Okay.
wrong thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Investigation
Hayden.
27.
All right. Let me 8. So dirty 20 for Hayden.
Who else is investigating? Well, Fianna is, Reanth is.
Fianna.
Everyone?
26.
Also a 26.
Wait, I beat Indigo on an investigation? What?
They're
We all
just
just have good investigation.
nope.
My perception is
Morwen
shit.
said
with
this
a
one out.
couple notable exceptions. Does more than half the party have good
You guys
investigation?
do, yeah.
Nice.
You don't find anything.
I have 0 investigation, so...
Yeah. So.
Searching around the walls, it is very well made, very tightly fitting stone, no mortar, and nothing that you wouldn't expect to see.
Yes, it is
Oh,
for
I guess
turning
that
around
answers
gurneys. To the door, I guess. Still nothing pinging.
I guess what's a gurney?
Nothing pinging on the door.
All right. Ooh, more staircases. Are these up or down?
These are sets of stairs leading up.
Up.
You're still on the same layer, but you are going back up to the layer on which you started on. So the downstairs you went through to deal with the sort of rest area, and now you're going back up to the top.
All right. Well, let's see what's through this door.
You're going to need, or you just opening the door? Okay.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna need what am I gonna need? I'm not.
If you've opened the door, you've opened the door.
Oh.
Oh.
Looking
Is-
through the
is-
door, you see a
Oh.
throne room.
Oh.
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 Old, decayed, broken benches. There are skeletons on the floor, a few statues, and a throne at the end.
I will step through the door.
Sitting
Is it
on
a
the
scout?
throne,
Oh.
That
I was gonna say, is it a gnome-sized throne?
you see a much younger version of Zook,
Oh boy.
just sitting there, not really paying attention.
Haydn is just going to swiftly back out of the room and back anyone else back and try and quietly shut the door.
As your hand rests on the door, you hear Zook. Now that's impolite. You could at least come and say hello.
Asher will stick his head through the door and be like, "Hi."
Hi.
Funny scene. Oh, let's just go in, you guys. I mean,
Yep. At this point, the jig is up. We should probably all just come in.
mhm.
What? Zook told me to say hi.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
Zook.
I'm not saying it's your fault. It's something that resembles Zook, which is terrifying. Because we've
Next
seen
time we
clones,
said
we've
a
seen
scout?
Good or out of character?
that is out of character.
Oh no.
He does not. Haydn
Yeah.
has some sense of self-preservation. He's not gonna call a younger Zook terrifying in his face.
Or mention that we know another Zook maybe is
Yeah.
the relevant part.
I think
Did,
Ursa's already let that out of the bag.
Yeah. Well, I think Reanth did too.
point of
You
order
know me, which means you have me at a disadvantage.
question.
Mhm.
Does old seasoned professional awesome Zook have true sight?
You don't know.
Okay.
Seasoned professional.
On the upside, Ursa doesn't actually know anything of importance. So,
But Ursa said Zook told me to.
Knowing
so,
Zook is the point of importance.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, I suppose.
Not Zook.
Indigo is
Well, if you
silent.
know my name.
Good.
Yeah, you know
Whatever time it is.
I am
What was
Reanth.
that? Sorry.
You can call me Swords. For now.
A descriptor rather than a name, but it'll work as a moniker for now.
Yep.
So we have Swords. Did I hear a Reanth back there?
Yeah, that's me.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hi,
Nice to-
Ursa.
Oh, people. You can call me Noreen.
There's a small nod of appreciation towards Morwen.
Like, how long did you people live with the Fey Queen? Okay, anyway.
Ursa has
Genevieve.
an excuse.
Yeah,
I'm just-
Reanth just doesn't
yeah.
give a shit.
Mhm.
She's just like, whatever.
Genevieve.
So we have two people who are willing to give me their real names. One who is using a moniker, and two who are lying. And one who's hiding.
Uh-huh.
Names that have power, I'm
That
sure you
answers
know.
that
I don't
question.
tend to give mine freely.
Same.
I'm just establishing what we know of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Does the
He's
hidden one
counted
wish to
me.
speak? He has.
I make no wishes here.
I can appreciate that. What are you doing? And why are you here?
It could okay, this is a above table question.
Mhm.
Could this be considered the spark? Could this young Zook be the spark?
Could be. Could not be. We don't know.
We have
But
no
I'm
clue.
guessing.
Okay.
I'm guessing we found what we were looking for, but you know.
He has not aged. If he's a young Zook, and this was 1,000 years ago, and he hasn't aged, this could be a new manifestation. So I think it's possible.
If I may be honest, we didn't expect to see you here. From what we had heard, there's not much life left in this place.
Oh, there's no life left in this place. We see to that.
We?
Yeah.
We. Uh-huh.
I'm not entirely sure I want to know what the we is.
You,
Come
you are,
on, we want to know what the we is.
I want to say you are free to deny me, and I will not violate that boundary. But do you mind if I step just a little closer?
Why?
I would like to propose just a small exchange of information. I know a little more about you from this getting closer, and I'll tell you a little more about myself.
What do you wish to gain? Well, since we do not like the word wish, what do you want to gain?
And if I may be honest, I am unsure on your nature, as like I said, I didn't expect to see you here. And I would like to establish if you are an illusion of some kind, conjured up by this place.
You may approach.
And I will step within 10 feet. I have 10 foot of blind sight. Is he an illusion, or is he actually there?
He steps forward and just puts his hand on your chest.
Haydn, you feel like Umbra's paws dig into your shoulder.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this would be like a be careful warning.
Yes.
It's a strong chest.
Do I feel like an illusion?
No, you do not, and I appreciate the confirmation. There is something you would like in exchange for this? I mean,
The reason why you're here.
we are searching for an item of much import.
I will give you one more chance to answer without fucking around. I was
Indigo
truthful to you.
sighs, and they appear properly.
Unless Indigo tries to stop him, Haydn will start to explain. We have
Pause.
received. Yeah,
You-
yeah.
Just
We have received word that the spark of magic, something to do with it, has reemerged somewhere within this labyrinth. We are looking for it.
I wasn't actually expecting you to tell me the truth.
We've already established that we know you, and lying to you has never proven
You know me.
up to you.
No, you said you know me.
Umbra goes.
I can see Indigo like.
Yeah. Indigo and
Indigo
Umbra.
is the picture
All the
of
same palms,
picture
yeah.
of totally neutral state, but inside they are dying.
If you had never been here before, then I would know if you have. How do you know me?
Fianna will send a message to Haydn, because I remember she has this now. Maybe we let Indigo do the talking now?
And you haven't only existed in this place.
No, I have. If you know me,
I guess a
You
version
know
of
that.
you might be more accurate then.
And he steps back and sits down.
Is it the
You were
same
sent by the
pose
one-
as seasoned Zook?
No.
Season
Okay.
Sounds like we're cooking him.
It might just come to that.
No, it won't. It'll be fine.
Where's Alfredo?
I very much hope it doesn't.
You have been sent by the one that ended the world.
Mm.
I only know of one other version of me.
You are lucky.
Wait. I was gonna say,
Indigo says that from the corner.
You've encountered more.
You make 3.
you nicer than the other one though.
Thank you, Ursa.
Honestly, so far nicer than both of them.
Think your words
Nicer,
through,
more polite.
Blades. If you have established you know another version of me, the logic would dictate that he made me. In which case, do not insult the father of a being you have just met.
He's always been lovely to me.
Fine. What would you like me to call you?
I don't have a name.
You can
Just a
choose one if
designation.
you'd like. Oh, what's your designation?
Guardian.
Well,
Hmm.
Guardian. Are you guarding the spark?
No.
Are you
But
free
it
to
does
tell us
guarding.
what you are guarding?
Yes, I am.
What are you guarding?
The machine that Zook made to keep this planet alive. To stop it from falling into the sun. And
Oh.
burning the rest of whatever life he deemed worthy of leaving here.
That's
Deemed
Good.
worthy?
well.
You make it sound as if he picked and chose who remained here. Besides you, obviously.
He may have. This world was used, or what is left of it was used as a prison for a while as well. A place to send the ones that you don't necessarily want running around. Put them in a place that no one's going to look. A place they can't leave and can't tap into anything useful.
Fianna curses in a deep speech.
Do you know where the spark
Guardian. Yeah.
Yes.
is? Will you tell us?
No.
Why?
Right.
What if you mean to steal?
Guardian. And I step forward. I look at him. It's You can tell when we are lying to you, yes?
Yes.
And No, I'm watching. I'm looking at anything that's exposed on him, from his jacket. Do I see any hint of Zook's tattoos?
No, you don't.
Okay.
You get
You
a
can-
magical as fuck ping off him.
Yeah.
Very different to Zook, though.
Yeah.
But no tattoos.
You can tell if I'm lying to you. I am very confident in this. I am not here to take the spark. I am here to investigate it. That's not counter to what you are guarding. I don't want this world to fall into the sun, so it seems we both want the same thing.
And the rest of them?
It is very strange of me to say this, but they sometimes listen to me, which is really weird.
It's true. It's
And
true.
earlier I told them not to touch anything or take anything, and they did not.
Roll me a
We're not-
persuasion check.
Sure.
With advantage, because you're being honest.
Are they close enough for guidance where they're standing?
Yep.
I'm right
Okay.
beside you here, and I'm visible now, so you can totally see me.
Yeah, so Fianna just like lightly touches your arm.
Persuasion with advantage
And guidance.
and guidance is okay. I keep pressing the X. God damn. Okay. 33 persuasion.
The Guardian takes a moment or two, looks over pretty much everyone in the party. I will take you to where it could be. With one condition.
I would expect nothing less of you.
If you leave here, you take me with you.
Well,
Do you not still have something to guard?
What happens if we
What
do
will
that?
happen to what will happen to what you've been guarding if we do?
I don't know. And that in itself is interesting enough to do it.
That sounds
sounds like
familiar.
Zook.
Yeah.
Definitely related.
That one's a
Counter
harder one.
Counter offer. I promise you, you know that this is heavy. I will go back to where we came from, and I will return for you if Zook says it's okay.
No.
You must come with us first.
Yes.
Is there anything or anyone we can put in place to guard in your stead? Seems like
Those that have come here before you
Mm-hmm.
came seeking treasure.
That's not our goal.
No. But if there is no treasure, they won't come. The other option is one of you stays here.
Can I insight this little guy?
I was just going to say,
17.
Ursa's totally eating a piece of pie that he's found from his bag whilst this is going on.
There's one thing I would like to check once.
My insight was a 17.
What were you checking to staying here?
When he said they won't come if there's no treasure. That's what I wanted to check.
People come on the rumor of treasure.
with a 17, you get closer to and definitely because you know Zook, there's a few of the mannerisms kicking in there as well. The point you get is that he doesn't care.
Mm. I've been constantly inciting him as I speak to him with a 29, so if there's anything extra layered on top of that, I don't know.
He
There is
doesn't care if the thing goes into the sun, because that's what he's guarding against, right?
Correct. That is what
Okay.
he is guarding against, and he
He doesn't care.
doesn't care.
Okay.
The insight that Indigo's been doing, it's more of a realization that there is more that he could be doing than this.
Mm.
That if whoever made this is now deemed it worthy of attention, he can deal with his own mess.
Guardian,
Mm.
the group can take you back, but we cannot be held responsible for the reactions on the other side.
I wasn't expecting you to be, but I appreciate the warning.
Okay? I put my hand out.
He just looks at it, cocks his head a little bit. The rest of them need to agree as well.
This won't even really change my answer, but before Haydn answers, I would like to, with the detect magic still up from before, you said that he was magical in a different way than Zook. Is it still the same kind of a magical person type magic, or is there like a specific thing associated with it? For clarity, I'm seeing if he's some kind of like simulacrum clone, anything like that, if I can tell that, basically.
If you want to go that deep, you're going to need an Arcana.
Yeah.
Even with the detect magic.
Yeah. I guess depending on what it is, I have seen a simulacrum with detect magic before, if that would help with this at all.
It would not.
Okay.
Reanth and Ursa, anything in particular you two would like to be doing?
Ursa's eating pie.
Reanth will
Thanks.
telepathically ask Morwen if she has a way to like send like our Zook a message. This is just all telepathic though. But other than that, she's just kind of standing there like.
She'll message you. I would have to use my wit to do that. And to the group, Morwen is going to say, if somebody needs to stay behind, I'm willing to do that.
Oh, no, you don't.
Cast the teleport and send you guys. You know.
Yeah, right.
The wrath that will come down on us for that? No, thank you.
Yeah, no thanks.
You guys know where to find me, right? We'll be in the main room.
If anybody stays behind, it will be me because I can teleport, and also I don't have to worry about a girl going crazy on everybody else about it.
Even if I was okay with that at all, yeah, Gur, I don't think Gur would ever forgive us.
Yeah,
right.
If we let you do that.
That makes it worse because we don't work for him. He doesn't need us anymore.
I don't feel okay leaving this place unguarded.
Morwen, I already told you I was going to do it anyways when I agreed to this.
We'll see.
You guys
maybe the place won't need a guardian. Well, you know.
If somebody stays, then I agree to take
I'll stay.
the guardian with us.
Take me with you. Nobody needs to stay. Or Zook can come and deal with his own problems.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a deal?
I agree.
Yeah.
You have a deal.
What did we just do?
Yeah, right? Suckers.
I need Fianna and Ursa to verbalize that they agree to this.
Ursa's just sort of like, what?
Say,
Hi.
I agree.
I agree.
Thank you. Not thank you,
Okay.
but appreciate it.
I'm gonna hate myself for asking this question, but I'll never forgive myself if I don't. If this world was to be destroyed, what kind of life would go with it? Besides rats?
And spider.
There are about 100 people in a city called Mamagar above where we are.
Banished here because of their own actions? Or are we talking families and children and innocents?
Innocent is a subjective term, but they are people who chose to live there.
Do they
Me
know about...
leaving is not going to destroy the machine, and no, they don't. They don't know what is going on. They don't know why the magic in the world died. They don't know why everything turned to sand, and they don't know why people keep trying to take control. They also don't know what's hidden down here or elsewhere. Just because I leave doesn't mean the machine stops. It just means it's a little easier to get to, but there is not just me looking after it.
Who else is looking after it?
He doesn't respond to the question. He is looking to Fianna.
I agree.
Guardian takes Indigo's hand, smiles, and that's where we're going to take a break. You guys very much
What have
forgot.
we done?
Exactly
during
what
the
we're
break-
told not to.
We are doing the break a little differently. Jax is going to give you a little teaser into what is coming in season 2.
Nice.
Those that want to ask questions, you will be able to. I'm going to go get a drink because I ran out of coffee. Sorry, we ran a little late. I got caught up in what the fuck was going on.
That was awesome.
So we'll take a drink, take a break, ask some questions, and the giveaway will be at the end of the break, unless it's stopped already, which I don't know. Thank you, folks. It's been awesome telling this story. It's gone completely different to how I wanted. And we'll see you all soon.
A good way?
That's what we do.
Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully that was a educational break for people. We also need to end the giveaway, please, and see who's won the awesome dice. We can hear you still. Okay, awesome. Congratulations.
Yay.
Okay. So
Excited about that.
we left off with a deal being made with Guardian. He still has hold of Indigo's hand,
Mhm.
and he is standing in the middle of everyone.
Mhm.
After you, Guardian.
Oh, you're waiting for me.
You said you knew
Very
where it
well.
was.
I didn't know where it was. It's behind me.
Oh.
You're a shit, just like your father.
I mean,
Where else do you think we would put it?
Yeah.
And he moves through and opens a door that none of you saw.
Haydn will just kind of mutter under his breath, how did we manage to basically choose the right way from the beginning? Like, we
What
took
does
like
this
one
say
wrong
to
turn.
leave this particular room?
Pardon?
What is to say not all of the roads lead to this room?
yeah. I was gonna say, might have just been designed that way.
What did you see on the way here?
Rat.
Little spiders,
Big spiders and rats.
Sarcophagi.
Clawmarks.
lots of statues.
Something exploded. Or evidence of something exploding.
People tried to, well, thought they would be better off eradicating the spiders that have taken up residence within the caverns.
We just
We just
Nothing
closed
big.
them back
we
into
just
the
ran.
room.
yep.
Looking across the door that Guardian just opened, there are 3 huge axe blades, probably measuring 6 feet across, tipped in silver. Those that have detect magic up can see that they are magical as fuck. So they have evocation magic running on them. They have basically everything they can to get through most shields. But they are sitting off to the sides. And they are not active. Guardian's just
So-
looking at you all.
Is it safe for us to cross, or do you have to do a little thing to stop the blades from falling down?
No, the blades won't fall down. The noise was bothersome, so I turned them off.
Before we leave, make sure you turn them back on, though, yeah?
Yeah.
I will. It just amuses me to see how people react. I don't get many visitors down here, so I have to sort of make my fun while I do.
Yeah.
Ursa just walks across.
As Ursa walks across, there are a couple of runes that flare up, just from the motion, but nothing happens.
Yeah, a little scary, but
While they're walking through, Morwen's gonna ask the Guardian a question. Did you get notified somehow when we arrived? Did you know there was somebody here?
I knew.
Okay. I had a feeling.
And if
But I
I
didn't-
open this door, is anything gonna explode out at me?
Are you opening the door?
No, I'm asking the Guardian. Like, if I open this
Oh.
door, is something gonna?
Nothing will
Yeah.
explode out. Can everyone give me an intelligence check, please?
No.
I can try.
Just a check,
That's
right?
not bad.
Mhm.
Check until 19.
Just a check.
That's really good for Morwen.
21.
12.
I can't even read that. No, that's not right.
13.
It's
Pretty
gonna be
much.
under 10 for Fianna, so
Yeah. If you got over 10,
5.
Guardian
Yeah,
is very literal.
7.
Very what?
So-
Literal?
Very literal. So if you ask him, is
It's
something
it's-
going to explode out of that door if I open it?
Mm-hmm.
If nothing's going to explode, he'll say no. But that doesn't, he's answering things in an incredibly literal way.
From his
Guardian.
perspective.
Guardian.
Yes.
What is the danger behind that door?
Me.
Mm.
But you are not a danger to us, correct?
That is correct. As long as you keep
Eh.
the promise.
Is it another you? Am I going to find another you?
I am the only one of me.
Okay.
Will there be another guardian behind this door?
No.
Are you gonna turn on us when we go through this door?
I saw Reckless. I see you.
No.
Sneaky.
Yeah. And he just sort of moves through and goes through the door.
Okay.
His hands are palmed out and just standing there waiting for you all to join him.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
stick to him like glue.
Was Fianna staying in the throne room or was Fianna coming through?
She's bringing up the rear. She was
Cool.
waiting on Morwen.
As you step into this room, there are piles upon piles upon piles of gold and treasure and trinkets and items. Just somewhat haphazardly thrown about. It looks like there's been an attempt at organization, so there's a pile of swords here, a pile of axes there, and then a pile of fuck it, I can't be bothered anymore in the corner.
Doom piles. I'm familiar with doom piles.
This would rival a
I
dragon's
am as
horde.
well.
Already
Don't
got one
touch
of those.
anything.
Is the spark in the middle of the chest room thing there?
The middle of... No, it's not. The spark is beneath you.
All right.
This is a distraction for those that this is what they see. This is not.
No, this is
Right.
what I take.
Oh,
Off.
Mm.
Zook
Good
did
thing.
say
People tend to come
1,000
down with
years.
all sorts
Yeah.
of things to try to hunt down treasure. It seems the treasure they're hunting for is made up of the treasure from the treasure hunters.
The irony is amusing.
yeah.
It amuses me greatly.
How do we get under this room?
You don't need to. Approach the chest. I
Alright.
can't, and it will not hurt you.
Ah, okay. We just recently had a situation like this.
Yeah. Seems familiar.
I open it.
As you step up onto the platform, so it's ground, platform, chest sort of sitting on top. As you open up, as you step onto that platform, the stone floor of the room disappears. Fades in from the outside in, and it just like dissolves into the middle. Underneath, there is a large mechanical gyroscope. 4 huge gold, brass, and platinum rings spinning and interlocking around a central crystal. Perfectly sphere, mimics that of the core crystal that you got out of the chest back in the throne room. You've
Is
opened
this
the
the
chest.
machine?
This is the machine, yes.
I've opened it.
Inside, there are 4 crystals. Color shifting, moving, glowing, pulsing. One of them is reds and yellows, another is whites and blues, a third is greens and blacks, and the last one is yellow. Still color shifting and fading, but it's only shifting between a single color. As the chest is open, those who are looking down will notice the same tint to the rings themselves. 4 crystals, 4 rings.
Guardian,
Yes?
is this malfunctioning in any way?
No. Although look closer at the core.
I do.
It's designed so you can see it. The middle of the core crystal that is in the gyroscope, there are 2 orbs of light inside of it. One of them is a almost sickly green color, larger than the second. The other is a much smaller, but way more vibrant and brilliant blue. There's only supposed to be one, and it's not supposed to be blue. Who here was it? This is DM, not Guardian. Who here was in Save the Realm? Those that saw the crystal that Zook used, same green.
I was going to ask if it reminds Morwen of anything that happened during the uncursing of Ardbeg's sword. Because the yellow, I thought that glowed yellow.
That did glow yellow, but it glowed yellow because of the magic that was in it. It's a
Okay.
slightly different yellow. That was more golden.
Because it was charged with divine energy? Okay.
Ursa probably would blurt out on noticing that it looks almost like what he'd seen during the Save the Realm. He would blurt that out to everyone else because he's Ursa.
Yeah.
Fianna will just look confused at that.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Care to explain?
I mean, you were there. You just weren't really interacting. Do you
No,
remember
she was
how
in
like
Meloda.
holes? Oh, she was in Meloda. I thought she was in the
Yeah.
realm, but not.
No,
No, she
took
was
the
protecting the people that
NPCs.
went to Meloda.
Yeah.
It's an energy source. This is Guardian. From what I remember and what I can recall, it is a part of him.
Mm-hmm.
Draws upon the same energies that keep him going.
All right.
He
Well,
draws upon the same energies that
What-
keep it going.
What kind
are
of blue?
those?
In the crystals in the core or the crystals in the chest?
In the core, the extra sparky doodly doo. What kind of blue?
Baby
A sort of ice white.
Let's say, is it Zook hair blue?
No. Give me a history check, Indigo.
Yeah. Not
I'm not
something
sure I
I'm
won't-
great at.
You get advantage of
But-
it because of the connection you developed.
Fianna would also ask, I don't know if I want to know this, but what kind of energies does it draw from? Where? Him? It? Them? You guys?
He didn't know when I was made, so I don't know.
I got a 20, which is pretty good for me.
Yes. You recognize
Yes.
the blue.
Whoa. Why do I recognize the blue?
This is it's reminiscent of the small little orb friend that used to stay with you in the tree.
Used to hang out in the trees. Oh.
Wasn't that Timothy?
Well, yeah, I was like, what was that little thing? Oh.
Can I get close to it or no?
Is this to me or to Guardian?
To you first. Like, does it seem like I could get to it physically within space?
No.
Okay.
No, so the floor has disappeared, but it's still there. It is
Oh,
still very
okay.
much a barrier between
I
you.
wasn't sure if we were in like a now floating situation or
It
it's
feels
just
like it,
visually
but there is
changed.
still something solid there.
Okay.
Floor.
If Guardian,
Yes.
if I needed to get to the machine, is there a way to be there with it?
Not in survive.
I see. Is there a way for you to do it?
No, nor would I.
Okay.
If you wish to interact with the machine, you use the crystals up here. If you enter the chamber that it is in, which is not below us, you are seeing into it. The machine is at the center of the planet.
This is like, okay, Indigo's familiar with this. I saw fucking Leviathan in the library. So, is it very much like that vibe of like, I'm seeing it, but I know it's not here?
Depends on the way you can probably determine from what Guardian has said that yes, it is definitely not here, but it looks like you're looking through glass into a chamber that holds it.
So
Okay.
we're like scrying on it.
Yes, but
I'm gonna.
with high def rather than magical blurriness.
There's the red crystal, there's the blue crystal.
Green and yellow, and they map to
Green
the
and
rings that are moving around.
Yeah. But the yellow one's the odd one out because it's not shifting, right?
It's shifting within the
it's
yellow
not another
spectrum, it's
color.
just not going between two colors.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Haydn will just kind of ask the room, is it time to get the stuff, do you think? Or would we need to get physically closer, do you think?
I don't think we're able to get think this
Yeah,
is
I
it.
think it's time to take them out and see if there's a reaction that gives us guidance to what we're supposed to do.
All right.
So, which comes out
Yep.
first, the bomb or the container?
What was the bomb for? If the container is a separate.
It's not a bomb. It's just raw magic energy. Don't drop
We were
it,
just-
but that doesn't mean it's a bomb.
we don't know. Nope.
What we essentially have, just for clarification, is basically a copy of a core and a copy of a crystal, right? Like that's what it is.
So you have a. So the purple is. So you're asking if the crystal is the copy of the core, which is yes.
Yeah.
It is a vessel made out of the core crystal.
Yeah.
And then you have a orb which is just jam-packed with magical energy. It is not the same as the core in the middle. It is
Okay.
basically just raw arcane power.
So I wonder if we need to swap this out for the spark. So this keeps going and keeps this planet out of the sun. But we can
Is-
bring the spark back to Zook, right?
Is this out loud?
Yeah.
The extracting the spark, as you call it, I don't know what its name would be. Looking down, will stabilize everything. The energy source that is currently in there, or should be the only one in there, will not leave.
Okay.
Well, it will not be drawn to the crystal. If you give it a chance, it would leave, and it would try to wreak havoc upon whatever it has, but it's in confinement down there.
Do you know how we can get it into the crystal? If it won't come willingly?
I don't think
Yes.
we want.
Are you willing and able to tell us?
What was your friend going to say first? I'm curious how you attempt this. And that is Guardian, not me. Both. Really.
I'm just. Do we really want to take both of them? Like, we only need the spark.
No. Yeah.
If you take both, the machine will shut down and the planet will crash
No.
into the sun.
We don't
Right,
want to
right.
take the power
So
source.
we
That's
don't.
why I
We
was
want-
saying, yeah.
The blue one.
I am also curious if we can't go down there, how are we going to get it into the crystal?
Well, actually, what I'm thinking, if it's not meant to supplement the power, this might be, or this, or the orb, the magical orb might be some kind of like lure for the
Baby
spark.
Zook.
Yeah, that's what
DM.
I was thinking.
DM, how big is this chest in the center of the room?
About 2 feet by 5 feet.
So big enough to put the big crystal that I've been lugging around into.
Yes.
Is there a recess in there that is round and would fit a power source orb thing? Not just inside, I'm looking like round the outside as well.
Investigation check from those that would wish to look.
And we'll look as well if Ursa starts, because that's a really good idea.
I'm using
Yeah.
my Twitch inspiration.
No,
Mm,
Haydn will have guidance because Fianna will be
Alright.
paying attention.
18.
Because that went from a natural 1 to a natural 20
Nice.
Wow.
for
That
20.
is- That is a 26 for Haydn.
It's a 30 for Reanth.
Because I've just got this mental image of Ursa standing there with this floating crystal, looking at it and at the box, and being like,
Yeah.
I make things. This thing goes in that thing. Like,
And it looks like the thing that it was kept in that Serena gave us. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, as Ursa has this sort of idea, Guardian just taps you lightly on the shoulder and points to the back end of the chest at the base, where there is a I say small, there is a recess that crystal will fit in.
so we do the boopy in the thingy and put the thingy in the doobry, and it goes.
That's
Hopefully. That seems just a little too straightforward. Of course, I guess getting here wouldn't have been straightforward.
Although
Once you
even
get here,
last time, people
I
thought they
don't-
were straightforward.
I don't understand why people think everything is hard. Like,
Oh, Ursa.
if it fits, it's meant to
It's-
fit.
It fits.
I mean, yes.
I'm just going to turn around to Guardian and just be like, if I put this in there and that in there, will it work?
You need to stop those first by lifting the things in the box.
So
He's
if they lift those,
he's mimicking your mannerisms at this point.
if they lift those and I do that and like pass the orb to someone else, they lift them, I do this, he does that, it will work.
Yes.
Okay.
If we lift the orbs, doesn't that stop the machine?
Yes.
So how long do we have before it's irreversible if we're going to stop it?
I don't know.
Should we
That's
be
just
quick?
perfect.
Yeah,
It's
as
never-
fast as possible.
So I put floaty crystal in after people pick up, you choose, and someone puts orb in.
Yeah, I think we should have those of us with the quickest reflexes on the thing. So as
Yeah,
soon
we need
as
to
the
coordinate it.
spark is in the crystal,
Indigo, what are you thinking? You look very serious.
We can for sure extract the spark into ours.
It looks like that is the intention behind the crystal you brought. So yes, you can.
Do I believe him?
Roll me an insight.
That is a 27.
You believe him.
Okay, let's do it, but let's do it quickly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who's
Guardian
fastest here?
Step back, just
Yeah.
to stay out of the way.
I'm sure you are the fastest.
Guardian,
Yes.
Wait.
power orb first, or small crystals first?
Small crystals first.
Any particular order?
I don't think so.
All at once? If
at
we
once.
all do, I mean, I think if we each have a task.
I mean, we
Guardian,
can't guarantee we all do it at once. I say we do go in steps, at least for the extraction. Lift.
Ursa will turn to the Guardian again just quickly and be like, and then little orb then crystal, or crystal then little orb?
You need to stop the machine, which means you need the crystals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Once the machine is stopped, the orbs of light in the center will try to come out.
Yep.
The large crystal you have will attract the small light. Once that is out, you need to restart
Put the
the
crystals
machine
back. Mhm.
before the other power source tries to get into the crystal as well.
So
Okay.
big crystal out, then power orb in. Okay.
So that's probably the one I should be on. I'll go on the speed removal.
The power orb.
Yeah. Speed removal.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm ready to grab a crystal from the chest.
Ursa's ready
Everybody.
to jam a giant crystal into a socket.
Haydn will help lift the orbs to stop the machine.
So 4 of us on the 4 different crystals, one
Mhm.
Ursa on the new orb, and Indigo on the new crystal. Yeah. So we each have a task. We each have a thing we're doing.
Yep.
Umbra will move to sit on Ursa's shoulder as Fianna picks an orb.
Very enthusiastically. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's terrified. And yeah, I would say Ursa, Umbra is like holding on to your shoulder for dear life.
Fair enough. That's what in mind.
Yeah,
Alright.
what are we doing?
Let's do this on 3.
Are we going to do it all at the same time, or
Yeah.
As quickly as you can.
Yeah,
Four.
yeah,
Quick.
yeah.
The
Okay.
4 out as quickly as you can.
Okay.
Yeah. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
4 people lifting the crystals.
Crystalline.
Uh-huh.
Give me con saves. Crystal going in, so that would be Ursa. Give me a dex save, and then we will do Indigo last.
Oh, well, guidance doesn't help
Con
on
save
dex
29.
saves.
Is it
Ooh,
is it
29.
I
potentially
rolled a 19.
against being possessed or cursed?
No, it's not.
Can I see the effect?
It's good.
Because then I have advantage on my dex.
No,
I think I'm
you
supposed to have Twitch inspiration. I'd like
I
to
do.
use it.
You have it right now, so you're good to
Okay,
go.
it doesn't.
Yep.
For some reason, it's not showing me. Oh, I
Nice.
rolled the
Oh, it's
same
showing-
exact number. But
So,
nice
Aw.
con
knowing y'all.
saves. Morwen,
29.
Reanth,
29.
Haydn,
27.
Fianna.
Oh, Fianna.
It's been nice knowing you all.
What did we
We
get?
didn't hear.
Oh,
We didn't hear
9.
it. Oh,
9.
honey. Oh, honey, honey.
I know.
As you grab hold of the crystals, there is a power within them that surges through you as well. Like you've just completed a magical circuit. Most of you are able to steel yourself against it, and it courses through you back into the crystal, and you lift it up. Morwen, Reanth, and Haydn, your crystals lift, and the corresponding rings of the machine stop. Fianna, you grab hold of the crystal, and you feel this energy slam into you, and it locks you in place. As if you are petrified, hands on the crystal, but you are perfectly aware of what is going on.
Would I be able to grab like her hand and the crystal and lift it whilst guiding the other one?
I was gonna try to do that too, since I.
Because I'm
Good
there
one.
waiting, so if like they're focused on that, I'm like,
Yep.
it would be Ursa's reaction.
Yeah,
Like that's
so
what he would do.
Morwen, you wouldn't be able to because everything is going into resisting what's going on with the crystal.
Okay.
Ursa, what was your dex save?
My dex save was 21.
Yes, just.
Okay.
So you are
So-
able to see Fianna freeze?
I would grab her hand and the crystal and just wrench it out and try and wrench the crystal in one movement.
I am going to need a con save from you as well.
Those I can do. Natural 20 for a 30.
Nice.
Nice.
So
Good timing.
you see your friend panic and freeze, and then your instincts kick in. You grab the crystal and just lift. As that comes up, the last ring slams into place, stopping the motion, and the power sources inside the core start spinning in a more erratic orbit around each other. The large crystal goes into the recess that Guardian pointed out. The orbit of the small blue one spirals up and is now in the crystal.
Take it away.
Would I be able to just like grunt at Fianna to grab the bigger crystal?
Fianna's
Considering-
paralyzed
consi-
in place.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
I thought
Hayden-
I thought I wrenched the crystal off of her by what you said. That's
So you've
what I was
lifted it up. So think of control rods. So it's up and out of the chest.
Yep.
But Fianna is still paralyzed on it.
Am I free?
Yes.
Okay, I'll grab the big crystal out then.
Cool. And so give me another dex save, please.
Yep.
Just because there's more than
Not
just
as-
the initial plan going on now.
That's not as good. That is a 20.
lots of things going on at once. You're looking after Fianna, you're pulling out the other control crystal. You spot the blue orb going up into the core crystal that you have, and you see the green energy source very quickly following behind it, like it's trying to escape a prison.
Oh.
Yeah, I already said that when the blue was in, I took it. Like I was
Okay,
already.
sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah.
That's
That's why we
wasn't
put our
sure.
quick person there. Yeah.
That's why.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm removing as soon as the blue.
And-
Sorry, I thought you were just doing the purple orb at the end. That is on me. So Indigo rips that one out, sealing up the intrusion into the core crystal in the middle. And that green crystal, that green power source, is now slamming against the sides of it.
Yeah, Haydn's dropping not dropping, a control
we
drops,
need to,
but
we need to
dropping
put
the orb to
orb
get
back.
the ring spinning again.
Cool. Another con save to lower the crystals, please.
Go.
And you do get to do another one, Fianna, at this point.
I'm going to use Twitch Inspiration to reroll that. Okay.
19.
30-20.
27.
Fianna?
8.
Oh, funny.
Someone's got to add the drama.
So, at this point, Indigo has the core crystal with the blue spark in it. Morwen, Reanth, and Haydn's control crystals are back in place. The rings are not spinning.
So we'll do what he did before then, and just give Fianna a helping hand.
With the combined effort of both Fianna and Ursa, the fourth control crystal is back in place. The rings are still not spinning.
Power core.
Am I still stuck?
Once the crystals are back in place, the connection to you is broken, and all four of you are able to move around. What is Indigo doing at this point?
So glad you asked that, Adam, because I am currently holding a whole last thing of life in my hands, correct?
Yes.
And my job was just to take it away before the green light got out. So I have the blue one.
In the core crystal, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna be a nice supporting friend and just hold on to it. Like I've backed away too, so that I'm like further away from the situation, and tell them to get it working. Deal with the purple crystal.
Well, if no one took the purple crystal, Ursa still has it, so he'll be the one trying to jam it into the hole.
Where does Indigo back up to?
Towards the door.
Okay. So Ursa has the purple?
If no one else took it, then yes, Ursa would still have it.
Cool.
Indigo, do you need to put that in the bag of holding, maybe?
This I don't think
This is
anybody can
all-
talk
this
to
is
me
all
right
happening.
now. This is too fast.
Okay.
It's all
Okay.
sort of happening like within about 10
Yeah.
seconds of each other, if
Okay.
that. Ursa, I'm
Yep.
going to need a con save from you, which
Okay.
is fortunate.
29.
Pulling the orb out of the bag of holding that you have it in, putting it back into the recess that the core crystal went into. As it goes in, you feel the membrane of the orb crack. Somewhat intentional because of the shape. It's it's basically a round peg in a square hole, or a
Yep.
square peg in a round hole, rather. As you force that down, the membrane shatters, and it unleashes a godly amount of arcane energy into it. A lot of it flows down into the core. A significant amount of it flows back up into you.
Mm.
As the energies hit the core, the green orb is pacified, subdued effectively, and the rings start moving again. Unfortunately, Ursa takes 30 points of necrotic damage and 16 of lightning.
So 46. Okay.
The arm in which you used to push the orb in is effectively useless.
Okay.
Similar to what happened to Gur.
Mm.
Yep.
I was just gonna ask that. Mm.
The con save that you did allows you to keep functioning. He is in pain, he is angry,
Oh no.
but the core is running,
Okay.
and Indigo has the crystal.
Okay, DM, tell me if I can do this.
Okay.
I love that sentence.
I would like to commune with nature on this spark. And I want to know who it is.
Okay.
Because we've established that this is life and things like that. So I feel like it's not too much of a stretch to use that spell on it. And
I'll
I think
allow
I
it.
get 3 questions, but
So 3 questions, yes or no answers, effectively? Yes, no, or uncertain.
yeah. Oh, I gain up knowledge up to 3 facts, which is terrain, prevalent
Like,
plants, minerals,
yeah.
animals, people, powerful celestials, fiends, elementals, undead, influences from other planes of existence, or buildings. I'm mostly trying to ascertain who this spark is, so I'll leave it up to you as to how that's interpreted by the spell.
Okay.
Are you using the boon from the third seal?
Yeah.
It's 1 question
Oh, is it?
for the boon. Yeah, the boon is only 1 question, but the spell is 3 questions.
Okay. So that's what I'm trying to ascertain anyways.
You're trying to ascertain if this is life and what it is, or just
Well,
if this is life?
we've established it is life. I just want to know whose life.
I don't know. It's nature, basically.
So, with all the chaos going on, and Guardian is watching you because you moved
yeah.
away, and he's moved to you.
Yep.
You use the boon from the third seal to commune with nature, and your part of your consciousness is drawn into the crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is drawn into Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize Timothy.
Oh.
The life in the crystal is the one that stayed with you in the tree.
Wow.
Much younger.
Much
But-
younger.
Much, much younger. But it is,
Oh.
in essence, the same spark.
Okay. How big is this?
It will be.
I realize
mean,
I've been
What
acting like it's a bowling ball, but I don't actually know.
well, the blue light is,
Yeah.
but the crystal is much bigger. So you're
Okay.
effectively holding the crystal kind of like that to support
Yeah.
it, so you can look at it, but it floats under its own weight. And
Okay.
it gives you basically a head height version of that orb.
Okay. Because Timothy always gave like vibes.
Yeah.
Like I could essentially communicate with Timothy in a way. I'm
Mhm.
going to ask Timothy. I'm not gonna say the name. Are you okay?
It doesn't respond.
I'm going to take my cloak and I'm gonna kind of wrap it so that even if it is floating, I still have more control over like the direction of
Tether,
it going. So it's like a little Spindle
Yep.
of sorts.
A leash.
Did Fianna have a question?
Yes, she was gonna look at Ursa's arm. Having lived with Garen and would she know? Like, she has a potion of an elixir of health, and it says when you drink this potion, it cures any disease affecting you, and it removes blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and the poison condition. It's basically like greater restoration in a potion. Does she know if that would help get rid of his arm, like the condition affecting it? Like, she could heal the pain, but it's not going to actually fix the arm. Does she know if that potion would do it?
How much did Garen tell you about what happened to Kuhn?
We didn't discuss it in character.
In which case you wouldn't know.
I mean, she did Seeger. Okay.
No. It looks the same. It
Morwen
makes
would
sense
know
that it would work.
that she
Morwen
has
would know.
potions.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things that happen in one side and keeping track of a
Yeah.
couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
There is a secondary part to that, Indigo. Because
Yeah.
only part of your consciousness went into the crystal,
Yeah.
the other half went into Guardian.
Mm.
Guardian smiles as you recognize Zook's soul in Guardian.
Mm.
I'm gonna. Nobody else is really watching me because
Yeah, we're
they're
super
all
focused on
worried
what we're
about
doing.
Ursa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smile at Guardian and just do one of these. And I'll look back over and I'll say, okay, we've got what we've come for. Let's skedaddle.
Morwen,
Yeah.
Reanth, Haydn, and Ursa with the arm. Are we doing anything with that, or are we GTFO?
I mean,
As much as Ursa's doing is he's taking his shield off his other arm and putting it back on his back because he gets the feeling he might need an arm at some point. Right, beyond that, let's go.
Haydn will just, knowing that it probably won't do anything, just looking at this, given it, you said it looks like what happened to Gur's arm, just gonna try and pump a lesser restoration into it. I assume nothing happens, but
Lesser Restoration just removes the condition, it doesn't heal.
no healing, just conditions. Let me get the list. Blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned.
This is a blinding white hot pain, Ursa.
Okay.
Double, if not more, than that you felt when you broke the orb. Once your sight returns after that, there's no difference to the arm.
Ursa will just look at everyone and like, I'm fine, let's go.
I know we can handle this when we get home. This happened to Gur. I know it can be fixed. I think speed is necessary. I agree with you.
All right. That's
Let's
that.
go.
Go.
She's going to keep an eye on it, though, make sure it doesn't get worse.
So which way are you all going?
Whichever way Guardian says is the easiest
Yeah, I
way.
was going to say, is there a quick way back to
Guardian-
the Javelin
There's-
room?
Yes?
No, I was going to point out that Guardian didn't know how we got there, and he said, how do you know all roads don't lead to here? So really, truly, does he know the best way out? He can't leave without us.
I think just he might go for just a mental memory, go back the way we came then, just because we know that way at least.
He might
kill
know
the
a way without spiders.
Just
Guardian,
like that.
Interesting.
what's the quickest, safest way out of here?
Those are two different answers. The quickest or the safest.
Safest.
North, out of the room you came into. Through the catacombs. Do not go up where it seemed hot,
Mm-hmm.
because it is. There is an inferno burning in that room, and it has been for several hundred years. Would have been interesting if you'd opened it. The spiders won't bother you if I am there. If I'm not,
Okay.
you'll never leave that room.
Oh,
They may be drawn to the crystal, but that's not my problem.
Okay. So back the way we came.
yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Ursa will offer to put the crystal in the bag of holding again before we leave, if it's easier.
I don't want to put a living thing in a bag of holding, thank you.
Okay.
So you backtrack the way you came.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the door where the spiders are. So I'm kind of just speeding everyone along because there's not too much. It's all the
Yeah.
same stuff. Rats are there. There's a lot more attention from anything living in this place. Now you're carrying a spark of life with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really intention like they wanted. It's more like, what is that? Drawn
Yeah, holy
towards it.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
Moth to a flame.
What are we doing when we get to the door?
Oh, Guardian. He said
Right.
they won't bother us if he's there, so after you, good sir.
Okay, if you guys can open the doors, make sure the
Mhm.
doors are open. We left a door open, but that isn't to say they don't close behind. Do the doors close behind us here, Guardian?
No, they don't.
We've been closing
So,
them intentionally.
If we left the door
wanted to.
open,
It's open.
It will still be open.
okay, so the first door to get into the spider room should still be open. Nobody closed it. But the door
Right.
that we closed,
Yeah, in the hallway.
Mhm.
if you guys can open it, I can fly very fast. So I'll just try to go as fast as I can.
Indigo.
Yeah.
Let me go first.
Okay.
He said they won't bother if he's there, so.
Guardian opens the door, and you all see 3 large phage spiders crawling around the room, trying to find whatever interesting thing came through.
Mhm.
The jade spiders, mechanical constructs that were sitting in the middle,
Mhm.
are patrolling up and down the sides.
Mhm.
Not searching, but patrolling. It seems everything woke up.
Mhm.
Guardian steps in. Everything turns to look at him. And stops. They won't move anymore.
Haydn will
They
gingerly,
show people.
yeah, Haydn will
Ginger.
gingerly step in, and if none of them react when he's actually in the room, he's just gonna book it across.
Guardian is now standing in the middle. All of the creatures in there are looking at him.
Okay. Head on through.
Yep. Kind of go around them and.
What is Indigo doing? And what is
Indigo
Fianna
waits
doing?
for everybody
Fianna-
else to go.
Oh, Fianna was gonna go last, but if Indigo insists,
I'm insisting.
oh, that's fine. She'll go second to last.
None of them
Hi.
pay any of you any attention. They are looking at Guardian.
I go back invisible. I take to the air. And I fly with my movement, my my action, and my bonus action for a total of 150 feet if I have to, just to get the fuck out of Dodge.
That basically puts you back in the portal room, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure that they don't have time to react to me and
And
Baby
the
Timothy.
thing you're carrying,
Yep.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there is an indigo-shaped blur.
I'm invisible to I think everybody but little Zook
Guardian.
here.
There's like a
Yeah.
burst of wind.
Whoosh.
So Indigo ends up back into the portal room. As you enter the room, all of the beings lock onto that crystal and track it across. As soon as it exits, the eyes are back on Guardian. Has Ursa gone through? Has everyone else? So is
No.
everyone else back in?
Ursa would have waited till like Guardian was there and then go through.
Thank you, Ursa. All of the creatures are now following Guardian.
Like, and Ursa's gonna wait and slam the door after Guardian is through.
They can't fit through the door, but I thank you.
They bodies may not fit, but legs are long.
This is true. And you all hear breaking stone and an awful set of noise coming out of that room now. As all
Morwen's drawing a teleportation circle.
are trying to break through the wall, going after the spark of life.
Mm-hmm.
Is everybody else beelining it into the portal room?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you
Getting-
complete that circle?
Hmm?
You don't need the circle.
Oh,
If you complete it, we'll all be trapped here.
ah.
And you made a promise.
We were told we'd have to get ourselves out. I
No,
will
we were
stop.
told
I will
to-
stop.
that we could get out from this same place.
It's the same portal that we came in through, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, we
You
need.
can leave the way you came in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the way I interpreted it. That's fine. Where it's not there. We'll go out the way we came.
Guardian,
Yes?
will you please take my hand?
Yes. And he reaches out and takes your hand.
I'm holding baby Timothy as Guardian.
Baby Zook and baby Tiffany.
Yeah.
And
I
Mama
will.
Papa Indigo.
Quick thing, everybody. If anybody gets blamed for agreeing to bring Guardian with us, it's my fault. It's fine.
We all agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'll
we
rest
all
on all
agreed.
of us.
Ultimately.
But Guardian again, I don't know how anybody will react, and I apologize for any inconvenience may befall you. If they seem
Yeah.
aggressive, just know that there is history and reason to be aggressive. That's why I'm holding your hand. Don't do anything stupid, okay?
I won't.
Trust me. Just hold my hand.
Does
Okay.
Guardian have magic vision? Because if so, he might want to cover eyes.
Oh, that's true.
Why?
Everybody's just giving you very good advice right now, and I really need you to just blindly trust us for a moment while we get you out of here, okay?
Okay. And he closes his eyes. And he walks through to the portal
With it.
with
Yeah.
Indigo.
All right. Are we ready?
We're going.
Yep.
Let's
Never and always.
Stepping into the portal, it is the same as coming in. It is brutal and raw power. A little different for Indigo. There is something both protecting them and weighing them down.
Mm.
The two forces seem to counteract each other, and you are able just to get through to the other side with both the Spark of Life and Guardian.
Mm.
You all arrive back in Titania's throne room.
Mm-hmm.
Zook is still sitting in the chair the same way he was.
Mm-hmm.
Serena and Shadow are standing there. As you drop back in, Zook sits up. And the look on his face is the same as when he found out the goblins were still around. It is cold. It is dangerous. He is angry. Someone better speak, or you're all going back. And you will not come back.
Zook, I need to talk to you.
That is what I just asked, Indigo.
Yeah. This guy here, he helped us get this. Zook, Indigo's doing the Indigo thing of like, I have a lot of information and there's a lot of ears around right now, and I don't know if you want me sharing everything that I know.
Speak. He is not fucking worried about anyone hearing you
All
at this point.
right. This guy is part of your soul, and this is baby Timothy.
I knew the second part. Why did you think he was there?
Wait, you knew this was baby Timothy?
No.
Oh, you meant the first part. Yeah. Well, guess what? If we wanted to gain access to everything without bloodshed, I made a deal.
Serena steps forward at this point. May I?
Which one do you want?
The core.
Baby Timothy. I pass her.
Interesting. She
He's
takes.
young.
I know.
Be careful with him. He's not responding.
He will, in time.
Okay.
Serena turns and looks at Zook. You may have the knowledge about what we took and what you lost. Only if you don't kill them. Or him. He is still needed. And Serena leaves through the same shadow in which she showed up. You don't see her leaving. You don't know she's gone until she's not there. You are now left with a chastised, angry Zook. Into Tanya's throne room. And a amused Guardian.
Who I have not let go of. That baby is feeling these clammy palms.
So I have to let you live to gain back what was taken. Why is that worth it?
You wouldn't have sent us if you didn't want information. We brought you information. This is what we've got. This is what was there.
You brought me back a reminder. Not information.
It can be both.
You don't have to have the information if you don't want to. It's a choice, right? Maybe
Memories
not for you.
Memories are reminders, Zook.
I think you already have reminders. And sometimes facing your reminders is the way forward to healing. And also, if you don't remember, you may very well repeat it because you don't remember. You think you've not done it before.
Did you restart the machine?
Yeah.
Yes.
They say yes as Ursa's tucking a very limp arm into like
Sash.
like he's put, like the strap of the bag and the strap where his shield is sort of like wedged it between.
Fianna will cast. No, we already. There was no actual healing, so we haven't actually tried to heal Ursa.
Yeah.
That's a good point. The chat has tried to heal me as well. I didn't know if that would work either.
It wouldn't have.
Okay. But we don't know that.
You don't know that.
So Fianna will cast Cure Wounds
Counterspell.
after saying yes.
that will hurt him.
Okay,
Oh.
I wasn't sure.
That's why we brought him back, just to let somebody here who knows what they're
Aaron
doing.
didn't tell
take
me a
care
lot
of it.
about what happened to Gur, but I know this is similar.
Go and see Gur when we're done, and we
Yeah.
can sort out Ursa.
I know it was a combination of many things, so.
But machine's working. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, Fianna. Not remembering. It's not worth it. The risk of repeating what we've done, I'm not taking that risk again.
And not knowing will haunt you, regardless, good or bad.
There are
Take it
many
from someone
things
who-
that haunt me. One more is not a problem. But I appreciate the sentiment. Reanth, Haydn, thank you. Morwen, always, and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Fianna, the same. This is a big thing you have all done. And it balances out a lot of what evil I put into the world. Ursa, I am sorry you were hurt by this.
I'm
We
not.
will heal you. Indigo. Timothy is back. Well, you now know why he had a fondness for you when he found you.
Aww.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. I have many questions, and
You get one.
Make it a good one.
how about this? I counter with a proposal.
Ah.
Make it interesting. Come on, Papa Zook. I am currently finding myself in more of a freelance situation than I was before.
Mhm.
And I am capable of, you do me a solid, I do you a solid here and there. If you need more
Go on.
Mamagar cleanup, I want to be a part of it.
Okay.
Okay.
I do believe I owe the rest of you a favor.
Oh.
Okay.
If you want to get at least one cleared out right away, I've been interested in learning getting some teleportation circles on paper. If you have knowledge, I can write
Of
down
which
where I want.
ones?
I can write down a couple. Out of character. I don't know exactly which ones it would be. Aiden would, but I don't.
I will share some of what I know, but it will be limited. There are worlds and beings and things that you can gain access to which you don't want to.
It'll be none of those, I assure you.
Hold on.
All right.
I was not sure this would work. And as for him, Guardian's just standing there, smiling, still holding onto Indigo's hand.
Indigo's not letting go.
Sort of
Welcome
like
to
a
fatherhood.
Zook, this one is better than the other one. Trust me on that.
Better friends.
Odd was not bad. He was just bought into the propaganda of someone who thought they knew better than I.
I I didn't use the word bad, you used the word bad. I'm just saying this one's better. He will be easier to talk to, that's for sure.
Which we will most likely have to do.
Hmm.
If he's going to move about in the world, he needs to realize we can't tell him everything, or we can't tell those around us everything.
Yeah, he's pretty direct. Hey,
Yeah.
Guardian.
Speaking of which, is this whole mission on a need to know? Should we not be speaking about it to anybody?
Getting into that chamber is the hardest part. If you wish to speak about it, speak about it. If you don't, don't.
Mhm.
Without a guardian
Yes.
there, we're going to need to work something out, but it should be fine for a while. We are done
Yeah.
hiding as much information as we have been.
Like,
Okay.
Ursa's still really conflicted about leaving the place unguarded. to the point that he
It's not
nearly didn't come back through the portal with you.
it's not unguarded.
Guardian pipes up. There are things in there you didn't see. There are rooms you didn't encounter. There are beings more than just I there. You just happen to find me first.
And I mean, it's not that large of a barrier, but even if they manage to get past everything, you still need 4 people alive at the end of it.
Mm.
Stop the
Minimum.
ruins.
And even if they do, it hurts when they touch it.
Yes, it does.
So it looks like you will get to live after all.
Yeah.
That's a win.
Huzzah!
Whoa, life.
We'll
One-
take it.
Hey, Guardian, that's great news for you. I haven't let him go yet. I look down at him and I'm like, do you want to continue being called Guardian, or would you prefer to pick something else?
Ian works for now. I'll
Alright.
choose one when it feels right.
I
Alright,
think
do you
he
want-
looks like a Florence,
What's a Florence?
an
Oh,
awesome
yeah.
person.
We can try different names on, see how they fit.
Baby Flora's real name.
Well,
I know.
Another successful mission for the Gallant Horde.
When all is said and done, Morwen will take Ursa right to Gur to get his,
Fianna will follow along.
Yeah, Haydn will as well.
Yeah.
After getting, sketches or whatever, the circles.
The favors and the bits and pieces that happen thereafter can happen in time, or they can happen as needed.
Fianna has no idea.
Zook doesn't really dismiss anyone. He just stops talking to you and starts talking to Guardian and Indigo. It's very much this is now my focus because what the fuck is here? Effectively, you
Right.
hold back the majority of Zook's soul
Yeah,
that has been hidden away and protected for a very fucking long time.
yep.
Oh, gosh.
The implications of that.
Oh, I know, right?
I do have a question though,
Mm-hmm.
because there was a couple things that kind of conflicted, and I guess just in case anybody else is wondering too, before we close
for it.
out. Did Zook purposely make Guardian?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't know if did he say something like he hadn't met him or something like that? So I wasn't sure.
I thought
No,
Guardian said he
he-
made me.
Yeah, he made me, and then maybe he said something like I don't know him. Maybe it meant like emotionally. I don't know.
But he was saying that
You don't know me.
if Zook didn't tell you about him, Zook doesn't know him.
Oh, okay,
Guardian
okay.
knows
Yeah.
what
Yes,
happened to Zook because he was there.
yes.
He was saying
Zook
that, like, the Zook we know is not the Zook that he knows, kind of.
Yes.
That
was what I got
Okay,
from it.
okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Mm.
All right.
Holy shit, folks. Thank
Oh,
you.
boy. That
Um,
was awesome. That was
that
Yeah.
fucking went in a completely different direction than what I intended. It wasn't intended as a heavily, massively RP thing, but fuck it, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I hope
Amazing.
everyone had fun both here. I had a fucking blast. And
Yeah,
in the
that was
audience.
awesome.
That was fantastic. Thank you. and an awesome reward for helping us get some of the things we need to get for Sparabel.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, folks. So there's a few things that are going to be going on. Applications for the Horde are open. There are questions around story beats. Reach out to Jax and I, so email Sparabel to deal with any questions that you have. And there is a new schedule going up, I believe, about what's happening between now and the start of our Season 2 campaign. So keep an eye on Discord, see what's going on. Keep an eye on the socials. We'll be dropping things out there. Thank you, everyone. This was a blast, and have an awesome time zone. See you, folks.